We're here. We're fucking here. Woohoo!
It is us.
It is us.
On a Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Welcome
This
to this.
is what it's like.
Yeah, I've never
On a
been.
Thursday.
Yeah, it's weird. Never been live on a Thursday before. We might
Oh,
have.
this channel.
In the early days of the podcast, we might have done a Thursday here and there.
Probably when we were savages just doing any day willy-nilly.
Yeah,
When
dude.
I didn't know y'all existed.
Thank God.
Ridiculous.
Hopefully no one remembers those days. That's when we were young and stupid and didn't know what we were doing.
For that. Now we're old and stupid and don't know what we're doing.
Exactly. Anyway, E3 happened. Definitely happened. And, Summer Game Fest happened. Summer Game Fest is continuing to happen going forward. They have some other things. But they had a couple things, and then E3 affiliated things happened. And we're going to talk about those things. This is just going to be E3. I'm going to call everything E3. Because I don't want to say like E3 and Summer Game Fest and Koch Media presents and all those other things that happened, because a lot of things were happening, and I collectively just call everything E3 because it's way fucking easier. Anyway, so give a good old school grade. You can use the letters or numbers. What you guys think of the entire thing?
The entire thing.
The whole thing, I'm gonna say, is a solid B. Like, I'm proud, but I'm not gonna brag about it. Like,
Okay.
it's good, but nobody really needs to know I only got a B.
Okay.
Like B minus, C plus, maybe around there.
Yeah, if C is the average, I would say there was a lot of stuff that I I guess was my taste, so we'll go B minus.
I'm gonna go with the Finnish school system. So we grade from numbers 4 to 10. 4 being the worst and 10 being the best. Don't question it.
Okay.
4. Yeah,
I'm gonna give
Go
it
ahead.
a solid. I'm gonna give it a solid 7. It's kind of the average.
Yeah, it's in the C.
Yeah.
some were better than others. If we did straight conferences, some I'll give B plus A. Some I slept
Oh
through.
yeah.
Yeah. Some were dog trash. Some were really good. Unfortunately, the ones that were really good were really only just a couple. So
Yeah.
it was
Like for me personally, and I kind of think that Joe probably agrees with me, that the standouts were definitely Devolver and Xbox.
yeah, I think so. They both did exactly what you expect from E3, and that is just title after title after title. They hit us with just all kinds of new stuff and exciting stuff, and most of it from Xbox is just gonna be free for us. So
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
realistically speaking, the real winners here are the people with Game Pass. Like no joke.
That is true.
I mean,
Xbox sponsor us already.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like real. If you don't have fucking Game Pass on PC, what the fuck are you doing?
There's one person waiting for Soldier Boy to be on the podcast. That's why Rose doesn't have it yet.
And like, yeah, so even though I said what I said, obviously, like if you're the type of person who plays just one game, don't get Game Pass. if you're the type of person that is like me who plays a bunch of titles throughout the year, sinking hundreds of dollars in video games, Game Pass is fucking sweet. I play 2 fully priced titles a year, and Game Pass has paid for itself.
They usually release like a top tier title at least once a month to the Game Pass, so it's always worth it, even if you play just 2 of them.
Yeah,
And even
And
if
they-
you're just like just trying stuff, it's better than like
Yeah.
you know, I'll go because back then it's like, oh, if you wanted to try a game, you either go to the, you know, Blockbuster or Redbox, and that's, you know, but now it's like, oh, I can download this, and if it's dog water, it's not on my computer anymore, but I didn't pay anything for it, you know.
yeah.
But most of the time, it's pretty decent.
I have done that a couple times. I've tried a game and just not felt it, and just uninstalled it like 10 minutes later. And it's good to know I didn't waste $50. You know, 50, $60. Very nice.
I mean, I downloaded Oblivion like last night just because I wanted to play a little Oblivion, and I said in a stream, and I even said in that stream that I'm probably gonna play it tonight once and then uninstall it. And truthfully, that's how I kind of feel right now. I'm probably not gonna launch it anymore. So you know, but I had my fun for like 3 hours. So fuck
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's getting better even about I feel like a lot of the titles that they leaned on were their own really good titles, but now they're even getting like a lot of really good indie games on there too. Like one of the ones that they announced this weekend is that Hades is on there now. So you can play Hades on Game Pass if you don't
Right.
have it. Yeah, I would definitely a really, really good game. One of my favorite games of year before last. I can't remember I think it was just last year. Whichever. One of my favorite games of that year. It's really good.
Honestly, I don't even have Game Pass right now because I just couldn't get like excited for any other game than Tarkov.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
and that's why you don't
That
have
happened.
Game Pass, and like don't
Yeah.
get Game Pass.
But I really want to play Hades because I've seen Tom play it, I've seen Joe play it, and it seems like a very cool game. But I don't have to buy the game. I can just get Game Pass for like
You could
fraction of the price.
you could get Game Pass, download Hades, play it for a month, and then cancel your Game Pass sub and have saved money on a single game.
Actually,
off of
they-
one game, you've saved money.
Xbox also has that deal where if you've never bought Game Pass, you can get 3 months for $1.
Oh, yeah. But I think you haven't you? Had it
Yeah,
in the past.
I had it once. But
The
we
dollar-
have
the
already
dollar
talked
thing
about
also-
Game Pass for like 10 minutes. Come on, sponsor us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Microsoft. Where the fuck's my money?
Yeah, we should have our own section at E3. How's that? Like
Yeah.
the
I agree.
recap at the end of E3.
You would think that would be a good idea. And then did y'all watch the Take-Two conference? Because that's what I watched.
Mm-mm.
So
Not a good idea.
I did not watch it, but I did definitely hear about it.
It was a very good. So basically, what it was they didn't announce anything. It was just a Zoom call of about 7 people who work in, like, you know, this guy works for 2K, this guy works for whatever Gearbox, I don't know. And what the message was, you know, like inclusivity and stuff in video games. Great message. But like for an E3 conference to spend 45 minutes on and not announce like a single game and have 100,000 people in the main E3 conference watching it and just being on a Zoom call, people got mad. And like
Yeah.
I didn't get mad, right? I was just like, oh, I don't think they should. I think they maybe should have, you know, posted this on YouTube rather than bought an E3 panel for it. It didn't go too well though at all. Like just looking at the Twitch, you know, comments and whatever, it was like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
So that was probably my least favorite one. If I had to pick, if we're talking about bad ones.
See, like
We are now.
I can give a little context to the Take-Two one.
Yeah.
So, I did not really realize this either until it was explained. So, E3 obviously for us is just the game announcements and trailers. But E3 is so much more for everyone else. It's primarily since the inception of E3, it's been for investors. Now, the Take-Two one was definitely probably not like an investor call, because I know it was about the inclusivity and all that stuff. Great message, I agree. It felt out of place because those things are never broadcasted. But they exist every year at E3. They're just panels that people go on location to watch. The people that are supposed to be at E3. The industry people. Not like plebs like us. But why they decided to stream it is a little weird. They could have made like a private room and, you know, sent whatever keys to the relevant people to watch if they wanted to. Because it felt out of place because it was out of place for us. Now I do tip my hat to Take-Two though. Before they went live, they did tweet that, you know, we're not going to show any games. So it's like, thank you for not wasting my time. But, you know, I also do know that people got extremely mad that they did not show GTA 6 because obviously everyone does not read Twitter.
Yeah, I don't have Twitter, so I didn't know that going into it.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you have Twitter, like, do you follow 2K on Twitter? You know, I don't.
Right.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just assumed Take-Two is just a development, like a company that I just hadn't heard of.
Oh, Take-Two, they don't develop games, they publish games, and they're fucking massive. I mean, they own Rockstar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hadn't even heard of them.
I think they also do like Civilization, right?
No, that's, I mean...
They did Civilization Revolution, so this is my...
Yeah,
me being 12 seeing 2K when I started up the game.
so Take-Two and 2K are two separate things.
Okay.
But Take-Two did own 2K, and I think 2K dissolved at some point. Firaxis owns the Civ franchise. I don't know if 2K does exist because they do the NBA stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and golf.
Yeah.
And wrestling.
But I think Take-Two owns 2K also. So they might own the Civ stuff too, by extension. But Take-Two is they're the tippy top of the entire the umbrella of companies.
I guess that's just the one downfall of E3 being online and people aren't ready for it, because like you see it on the schedule, you're like Take-Two, and you're like, oh, they're big. Right next to, they have the same font size as Xbox and Bethesda conference, so you're like, oh, I'll check it out. It's got the same font size. It's going to be the same thing, right?
For sure. That's what I would expect.
Ellie, I feel like they could have marketed it a lot better.
Yeah, they could have just said it. It's like inclusivity conference by Take-Two or something like that.
Yeah, they should have called it a keynote because it was a keynote about inclusivity and in the video game industry or in the video games. That's it. That was the sort of thing that would have been like in the LA Convention Center, like behind in some auditorium where you have the people on stage and then you have people in the audience listening, and they would just do the same thing, like, but now because of COVID, now they have a Zoom call, and they broadcast that stuff to us plebs who don't like. We were the people who were at the wrong place,
Yeah.
Another kind of a stinker, I should say, was Koch Media. I did not watch that one either, but I did hear about it, and I did skim through the VOD. Koch, for some reason, paid a shitload of money to streamers to co-stream their event, which that's the one thing that I fail to understand why they did that. What they did though, with the thing that they did, they had developers talking about their games without showing any of the games. The entire Koch Media presentation that was, it felt, and it probably was an investors meeting, an investors pitch. Because investors don't give a shit about what the game looks like. They care about the, is it gonna make money? So they're pitching their games. And at the end of every developer, that the Koch Media representative, probably, I don't know, some dude or girl or whatever, they asked, like, how do you like working for Koch Media? And then, the developer being hostage, they're like, oh, it's fucking great, Like, no one cares. So it felt really like a pitch meeting, more or less, for investors. But why the fuck did they pay all those streamers that money to co-stream it? Because again, it wasn't for us in any way. It's
Biggest
so
PR
odd.
event.
Otherwise-
gun to the developer's head. It's like
Yeah.
mass brainwashing. If you get XQC to watch your thing, that's 100,000 people that wouldn't watch in the first place, and then they get brainwashed. That was the thought process, bro.
But how would you get brainwashed if you're not an investor who can invest money into these projects?
I think they did it. They just stupid.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, that's what you can think. Like, you can say it's probably meant for investors, but obviously it's also meant for us, or they wouldn't have streamed it at all. And that's probably why they had those streamers, because they didn't have anything else to keep people watching, because they didn't have any gameplay. All they had to do was talk. So they had to keep people around somehow. Might as well pay some dude that people like to watch it.
So the weird thing is, they did not show gameplay at all. But most of the games that they talked about have footage already. So Zeke, he got money to stream it, so he did it. So what he did, he split his screen. So on one side he had the fucking presentation going on, and every time they switched the game up, he googled the game and put up a YouTube video of that fucking game. Like, this is what it's gonna look like.
He's doing God's work. They
Yeah,
should
but
pay him extra.
They just had a bad conference. That happens. People make dumb decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
someone
honestly,
at
like,
that company said, let's not show any games at our game conference. People
There's-
want to hear us talk
Mhm.
about them, like us.
There's like a reason why they make such a great cinematics. Because they look amazing and they give like a grasp of what you're getting. Even though it's over the top, like way over the top. It's gonna be like, if the trailer is like here, the game is like around here. But still,
but I mean,
people want to see something like actual stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind like having developers talk about their own projects. I much rather have that instead of a suit talking about a game, because at least the developer knows what they're doing, and when they talk about the game, they usually like, I'm assuming at least that they speak from the heart, so to speak. But Carnage had like an interesting idea that probably what happened was some executive was like, we're gonna have to do a presentation at E3, and then and these are the outlines what it's gonna be, and then they hire some third-party media company like to do it, and then they do what the parameters tell them to do, and then because the high level 70-year-old dude at Koch Media who owns millions and has never seen a gamer in his life, he has no fucking idea what Twitch is or what the fucking audience is. So he's like, we gotta promote this shit. So here's some cash, go get some people that could like promote our shit. And then they're like, well, if we're gonna stream on Twitch, let's have these streamers promote our stuff. And
Because it has worked before.
Yeah, of course. Like when it's meant for us.
Yeah.
But when they pay streamers to present something that is not for us, it feels out of place because it is out of place.
I think at least like one studio that I feel like that did a great job. I don't remember the studio, but Orcs Must Die 3 got like a release date. And I think that was done pretty well because there was like a guy interviewing the developer, and every time the developer would like mention something in the game, they would like immediately show like a 5-second clip of something that the developer is talking about, like on the screen. They would like show it. Oh, we're gonna have a catapult, and immediately, poof, 5-second video of a gameplay moment where they're actually shooting the catapult. How neat is
Yo.
that? Like,
Yeah.
that's all they had to like represent.
It's not tough.
Mm. Orcs Must Die 3 releases July 23rd this year.
Yeah, I'm
on
super excited for
Windows
that.
and Stadia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to play it. I actually want to play it.
Yeah, I played through the first two with a friend. We did co-op through those, and I'm gonna try to do co-op through the third one with them too. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Those games are a blast.
Yeah, I think they had
Going
a
on the Stadia.
Stadia.
Was there any Stadia stuff at all? Was
Oh, yeah.
Stadia? Was there? Okay,
I saw the
totally
name a
missed-
couple of times. It was funny.
I thought I saw the name, but I wasn't sure if I was just having a fever dream or hallucinating or something.
Can you like rub your eyes real quick? Huh?
I mean, there were some Stadia games shown. I mean, not Stadia exclusive. I don't think a single one of them is a Stadia
No, yeah.
exclusive.
That's money they don't have, or do
Yeah.
have, that they shouldn't spend on Stadia.
Right. Yeah, they definitely have it. but
Google
with-
got bugs.
But yeah, Orcs Must Die 3. I think that was I think they had some trouble like developing the game because they didn't want it to end up like the first two, because the first two, in my opinion, are very similar. They definitely wanted to add something, not just another campaign and be like, oh, same stuff but new campaign. Let's just sell it because it will get old pretty fast. But they definitely stepped up their game and have a lot of new game modes and stuff. Looks
That's
pretty
awesome.
cool.
I actually did miss that reveal. I'm glad you reminded me of it. I need to go back and watch it because that I did see it. I before the podcast I saw it pop up in the recap. I scrolled through there just kind of refresh myself. And yeah, those are fun games for sure.
But
But?
I can't contain myself anymore.
Is it
you gonna
about
talk
Square
about
Enix?
Elden Ring?
Oh, okay.
Well, one of you is right.
Ooh.
Marvel.
No.
Specifically Guardians of the Galaxy for some reason.
RE-verse.
No. I'm just gonna put this on screen, you know, cause muted, but whatever. Like, cause this shit was this even before E3 started. So like Jeff Keighley, that beautiful bastard. He won my heart. I mean, honestly, like that dude, he knows what Tumalo wants. This, I'm not gonna have any audio on this because I'm just gonna keep talking. But fucking Elden Ring.
It looks like it bangs.
Yeah, I was totally wrong. It happened on the first day. I was shocked as hell. And
Yeah,
then I
didn't
don't
it was
think
gonna happen.
I don't think they showed anything at the Bandai Namco conference.
No, they didn't. This was it.
Like not even this. I don't even think they showed this trailer at the
No,
Bandai Namco
They
conference.
didn't.
Yeah,
I
Elden
actually
Ring does
went-
look sexy.
I actually went and watched the trailer again, and I'm pretty sure on YouTube it says gameplay trailer. Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause this
but
is
there's
all
no
rendered gameplay. Well, but it's
Yeah.
all rendered in-game graphics and stuff. Is I think is what they're talking about.
So it's not actual game footage or
It's
like,
not.
Well,
Yeah, it's not.
en-
But it's
engine footage.
in-game engine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it still
Most-
looks crazy good.
Most
Yep.
of the time, like with like Dark Souls games and stuff, like minus like the first few cutscenes, it's all gameplay.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't doubt that most of this is actually like gameplay minus like a hacked camera they can move for like good.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
shots.
That's what
UI.
that's what I would have said too. I believe that everything you see in this is like how the character moves is how you are going to be able to move, and the moves and whatever, and the enemies and whatnot. Obviously, some of this is like pre-rendered, like the little shrouded lady, but this is certainly something that you can do, and
Horse jump was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that it's like a giant stag. You're not just riding like a horse. It almost looks like a reindeer or something.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
sure
think- I
what, but
thought
it looks awesome.
I thought it was a yak.
A yak? That's sick.
Yeah, like the first
Yeah.
time I saw this trailer, I thought about like, is that Dark Souls? And then I kind of like complain about it. And I don't know who said it, but someone said that. But is it a bad thing though?
I think it was me.
Yeah.
It's not a
I've
bad
seen,
thing.
because I've seen like people call this like Dark Souls 4, and some of them in a more of a negative way, and I'm like, are you really gonna complain? Like,
Oh no, From Software is releasing the 4th game in their most popular series ever. Oh no, and they've consistently all still been good somehow. Oh no.
yeah, oh no, oh no, please no.
And honestly, the story is probably going to be easier to follow in this.
Probably.
Considering it's, like co-written by George R.R. Martin.
Mm.
That's like half the selling point. Not
I've-
half the
but here's this shit right here. January 21st.
Like 6.5 months away. That's nuts. There's no, you know what? I'm gonna call bullshit. That's not happening.
Oh no, definitely not. I'm right there with you. I'm gonna
be like a placeholder.
I'm gonna stick to my original assessment that it's gonna be late 2022. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think it's happening. I mean, I don't see what in there is not.
I mean, I
It's-
hope.
Like they can still polish
yeah.
it, but
I did just notice that it's on last gen consoles. That's pretty sick. I didn't notice that originally.
well, that's scary.
I don't.
You're
Yeah, I don't-
developing on 2 different generations. is-
Honestly, none of the
yes.
graphics. I don't think any of the graphics in that game necessarily looked like crazy out of the PS4 or Xbox One.
Yeah.
Like the lighting, I think, is better, and that I think may be like the only big difference, just from what I saw there.
They definitely didn't pull like a Demon Souls kind of like over the top.
Yeah.
Demon Souls on PS5 looks so fucking good though.
Yeah, I'm real tempted to get a PS5. A guy at work has one still.
Barter.
that he hasn't opened yet, and I'm really thinking about buying it from him. Yeah, I watched that trailer like 5 times back to back to back, and me and Tom like went through every enemy, and we were like, "Holy shit, look how cool he looks!" And then we'd be like, "Yeah, but what about this enemy? Yeah, but what about this enemy? Yeah, but
This looks so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
Like that when that trailer was shown, that was it for me. I honestly believe that it's the primary reason why I'm so, E3 was great. I don't care how much shit was shown. I don't care how many bad conferences there were. I don't give a shit. I saw Elden Ring, and like my only hope was for this year to see something about Elden Ring, and I got a kick-ass trailer. I got a fucking release date that is way fucking earlier than my assessment was. And I got a Miyazaki interview that has been translated and dissected already in a bunch of fucking YouTube videos that I've seen. And I'm just, yep, that's it. This year is saved. I don't care anymore.
And you got a yak.
And you got a yak.
And a yak, yeah. I mean, everyone calls it a horse, but I don't know. I want to stick
It's
with the
definitely
yak.
not a horse. Definitely not a horse. It may not be a yak, but it's definitely not a horse.
Well, whatever
Alright.
it is, it looks cool. I like how the game looks a lot more open. Like especially if you got like a horse yak thing. Like if it's more like that was what I was excited about. I was like doing some expectations in my head. I was like, what if it's like Ocarina of Time where you can like go to different areas, like ride a horse over there, just kind of like I don't know.
I hadn't
David
even
Hand-
considered. I hadn't even considered that being implied by the use of a mount, that it would be more open world like that. That's a good thought.
Well, Dark
I
Souls
mean,
games
I
are definitely
know.
like pretty linear. So
Yeah,
I know
Well-
if you guys wanna hear.
give me the inside info.
It is an open world game,
Slap us with. Oh, there you go.
but
I
it's
think
going
they
to
can do
have
that good.
it's going to have like sections. They said 4 distinct areas, and the 4 areas are going to be more the traditional like Dark Souls type of deal that we've used to, and then they're going to have that open world. And there's also been talks about a hub area that unlocks like later in the game, and I don't really know what that means, but
It's a Souls game.
Yeah.
You have to have a hub area. Every
Yeah.
Souls game has a hub area.
yeah.
That's how it works.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's gonna be
I honestly believe that Elden Ring will be a fantastic game. I do not see them fucking it up. I know I said the same thing about CD Projekt Red, but I'm ready to redeem myself.
Like this is the
Between-
moment that you can trust everything that they say, and then get disappointed in like late September.
Between From Software and George R.R. Martin, I'm my faith is at an all-time high in a game, honestly. Like they don't really make any missteps. Everything that From Software done, like even their older games are pretty fun if you're into those type of games, like Armored Core and stuff like that. Some of that goofier stuff, still a good time. And then I mean, even though he's taking 72 years to release the next book, George R.R. Martin is still an excellent storyteller and more of an amazing world builder. And that's honestly like more what I'm looking forward to is the world that he crafts around the narrative that we're getting. I think that's going to be pretty incredible. To allow him to go into like high fantasy where Game of Thrones was, fairly low fantasy. It didn't have a ton of magic and stuff. But to see him really cut loose is going to be exciting.
I love how like we just got over the hump of Cyberpunk where everyone's like, can't get excited for games anymore. We're all just gonna be ruined. The world is inevitable. We're all gonna die. Elden Ring, which I'm all on board for.
Hey
you
man,
know, so
Papa Miyazaki can't do no wrong.
Yeah, and remember they
Yeah.
were, they made the game of the year before this one.
He's talking
last
about
year.
Sekiro.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
so 2019. So they can't fail.
I mean, the stars are aligning. The Witcher 3 was game of the year.
Oh no, quit it.
Silence, demon, silence!
If that date gets pushed back, you can.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
I would almost bet money on that the date will be pushed back.
But even still, like if they pushed back that date 6 months and it was like a year from now, I still feel like that's pretty early considering this is the second piece of media we've gotten about it. Like you really like by the second time you hear about a game, like in my mind, that's 2.5 years out. But
I just went on Elden Ring's Wikipedia page, and it says that Elden Ring development begun early 2017, so it would be like 4 years in
5
development.
by the time it comes out.
Yeah.
That is still a pretty quick development cycle. Like From Software's development cycles are pretty short. They release a new game like pretty consistent between like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have 2 internal development teams. One run by Miyazaki, and I don't remember the other guy's name, but they were the only reason I know that is because everyone blames the other team on the reason why Dark Souls 2 is slightly worse. Is because Miyazaki's team was busy working on Bloodborne at the time. So
But
that's
Elden
how they
Ring's
get
gonna
that.
be fucking great.
Hopefully.
But no pre-ordering.
No fucking pre-ordering.
Yeah,
Unless they put out Game Pass. No.
Unless they put out a big stupid collector's edition. I regret not getting, or actually I think it was Europe only. The Dark Souls 3 had a collector's edition that had like a 2-foot tall Yorm statue.
Let's go Yorm.
Yeah. I think PewDiePie bought it for like $2,000 or something like that after the fact, and I saw him unbox it. I regret not being European because of that statue. No other reasons, just that statue.
No other reasons.
But the thing that absolutely killed my E3 mood, and luckily it was pretty late in the E3 game. Square Enix sucked balls. And I just want to point out that I was very excited for Square, and I got one thing that was a pleasant surprise.
You
And
got
everything
6 things.
I got that. So okay, we'll count it as we got 7 things. that was a pleasant surprise. That retro re-release of 1 through 6 is super sick because, like you had pointed out, there's really no way. And the 2 and 3 will actually be the first time that we get those versions in English. Like this is the first time we'll get their original art assets in English. Because the only other way to play them is on the DS re-release for the second one, and then or the Origins or DS, and then 3 is only on iOS or that shitty iOS port, which is how I beat it. It was awful.
Yeah, like I have a quick question. Isn't 6 just 3?
No, so whenever they decided to start bringing out Final Fantasies, since this is the only reason that I think they did it this way, because they're not like a continuous story. They just thought they could name them however they wanted. So they actually skipped Final Fantasy 2 and 3 because they didn't sell well enough. And then whenever 4 came out, they named it 2 because it was the second one they released. Yeah, and then they skipped 4, assuming because of the sales thing again, and then released 6 as 3, and then the next one they released was 7. Like they didn't even go back and like rename the numbers or anything. The actual release order is 1, 2, 3, 7.
So 6 isn't 3, 3 is 6. Got it.
Yeah.
So,
and 3 is bad.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wait, so actual 3 is bad.
Actual 3.
Actually,
Well,
I've heard
actual
6
3. Actual 3 is just largely just super boring. It's not bad. It's just not fun.
it has a
2
it
is
ha-
bad.
It has one super kick-ass song though, "Battle on the Big Bridge."
I'll have to listen to that. It's
I've
been
heard
too
that
long.
song.
It's the Gilgamesh battle music.
I'll have to go and give that a listen. But besides that, they also released or announced like that what we're assuming is the Dark Souls Final Fantasy type game that was part of the big batch of rumors that all else largely turned out to be true. So
Chaos.
yeah, that's gonna be sick. It's a retelling of the first Final Fantasy as a Dark Souls style game, which is actually pretty exciting.
The people who have played the demo, they they refer it more to as a Neo 2 reskin.
Yeah,
But
that makes sense.
the trailer was pretty cringe, but apparently the game is pretty competent based on the demo. But it spawned like a massive meme because they say the chaos word so many times that the trailer became a meme instantly and kind of
The
a
voice
joke.
acting was not good at all. The voice acting was so. I mean, it's like it reminded me of like the bad voice acting in Final Fantasy 15. Which also, you said this, Tom. The main character does look like Core from Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Now that I have a picture of him pulled up.
Yeah,
It looks
I
exactly
I sent to Joe like a picture of both of them, and I said, and I asked like, can you guess which one is from 15 and which one's from the fucking the new trailer? But it looks like Core from 15. It's incredible how little like, and I don't know, like it feels kind of weird, considering like because there's so many Final Fantasy characters that are like kind of iconic. Like if I say like Zidane, everyone knows what Zidane looks like, and even Squall, even though he was kind of a just a blank slate of a character, but even like Titus was unique enough that people, and obviously his horrible voice acting, but whatever, but then we get to like 15 has a lot of characters that just look like regular humans. And I know, like, you spent a lot of time with Noctis and the boys, so you know, like, how those guys look, and even, like, Arden is probably one of the more unique characters in the game. Everyone else just looks regular. And even, like, on this new, the Strangers, whatever its name is, Strangers Paradise or whatever, they just look like regular dudes. And they just took Core's appearance and slapped a blonde wig on him and called it a day. And that's it. It's fucking Core.
Pretty much. Yeah, it was.
Well, like, I
Go ahead.
guess they wanted, because, like, if it's a retelling of Final Fantasy 1, I don't know how the characters looked in Final Fantasy 1, but it's probably not the most detailed thing in the world.
So you don't,
Yeah,
you don't
well,
have you don't really have characters in Final Fantasy 1. They're not unique.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
They're-
pick 4 classes when you start the game, and they don't have any names or anything.
All right.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's you don't really make characters, you just pick classes. That's it. They don't have names or anything like that. It's just whatever. So
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I've only played 15 and 7 remake, so all the way through.
Yeah, and nothing about the 7 remake. Nothing at all. I mean,
Oh yeah.
just and then like half the conference was dedicated to Guardians of the Galaxy. So
Woo, Marvel.
and then we
Woo!
still and even after the conference was done, after like their slotted thing, they had more Marvel gameplay on the Game Awards, or no, not on the Twitch gaming channel. They just had more Guardians gameplay, and then they showed it again during the Nintendo Direct.
Yep.
Because it's coming to Nintendo.
Yeah. It's just
It's coming at 15 frames a second, probably.
between that and Life is Strange is like
Oh,
it
yeah.
was that was 90 between those two games, that was 90% of Square Enix's conference. It was very frustrating.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm gonna wait and see on the Strangers of Paradise whatever game. See if it actually becomes good, because there's apparently like some problems with it anyway. But and it, I don't know, kind of looks generic. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait
Yeah.
on that one. But I'm like surprisingly hyped about those Pixel remakes or remasters.
Yeah.
Because but one glaring problem with them, and I don't fucking understand why they did not do this. Why are they not on any console?
I was also wondering that. It's just a Steam release, right?
And mobile.
Right.
But why
Yeah.
are they not on, the PS4 or Xbox One or the next gen or even fucking Switch? That's like truly puzzling to me.
It's
is,
got to
because,
just
like,
good.
like even the older Final Fantasies, like Final Fantasy 7 and 8, those like remasters, they're on like Xbox and stuff. And like I can understand if they were like, well, they didn't make enough money, so we won't put them on there. But like also, you already made them, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about porting games, but I don't think it would be that difficult to port like a game that has almost no data onto a fucking console. Like it can't be that difficult, right?
Not these days. Consoles are just little computers now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the only thing I can think of as to why it's on mobile and PC is because they just put that. I forgot about the mobile part. That's actually, hopefully they don't do it. Doesn't, it's not just like a straight port. Hopefully they adjust the UI some, because in
yeah, yeah.
3, whenever you played it, it was obvious, like whenever you were in a battle, like half your screen was taken up by your battle options because they were meant for you to poke on your phone. So it
Mhm.
was like on my screen, it was like a 3-inch box for every command. But the only I can, because Japan, it's so popular for mobile gaming. Like everybody plays on their phones in Japan.
Yeah,
That's the
don't
only
you-
thing
don't
I
you
can
have
think of.
phones?
Yeah, don't you
Don't
have
you
a
have
phone,
phones?
Tom? But that's the only reason I can think of that they would do that, is because it's easy to go from the phone, because I'm sure it's built on Android. It's easy to go from that to Steam, and they'll just rake in that mobile money in Japan.
I really hope though, like what you said, I hope they fucking adjust the PC ports to like being actual PC ports, and
Yeah.
not just like porting an iOS game to Steam and just call it a day. I also like, and this comes down to Square just being, you know, greedy as fuck. I kind of hope that they would release all those games in a bundle for, you know, whatever bucks. But since they're like highly popular games and classic games, you know they're gonna sell them like one at a time at like 20 a pop.
Like
But
next 5 years.
I mean, hopefully they come out like quick. And this is also, they gave no release date, I believe, which is kind of, I don't know, odd. I read somewhere that they're gonna release them like one game at a time. But again, like, these games are already built, they're already done, and you know, I don't believe that it's a massive job to port them to Android or iOS, and I don't believe that it's a massive problem to port them to PC. So like, just release those fuckers. Come on, man.
Yeah, we want to know how bad they're gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm wary about these classic JRPGs when they come to Steam, because like the Chrono Trigger one, when it released, it was absolute dog shit, and you know, the Final Fantasy games are kind of a testament to how lazy Square is on like porting these games.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think I have like FF6 on Steam, and I refuse to play it because just looks like shit.
Yeah, I was considering buying Final Fantasy VI on Steam, and all the reviews were like, you have to download 1 or 2 mods to make it playable. I was like, ooh, that's gross.
Like, it's at this point, like, if you want to play 6, just fucking emulate it.
Yeah, just
no, Twitch.
No.
I mean, honestly, like, cause, and I don't know if this is confirmed, but apparently, like, the pixel remasters are not going to be the original sprites, but they're gonna be remastered sprites, and they're gonna look a little bit different. Apparently, I saw some screenshots on Twitter, but I don't know if it's confirmed. And I really fucking hope that they don't screw the fucking pixel art, because like how 6 looks on the SNES, that's how I remember 6, and that is the best version of 6. Like, don't fuck it up.
It is.
Yeah,
Oh, you can go this time.
I was gonna say, I know some of the sprite revisions are because they used copyrighted D&D monsters back in the day, and I'm assuming that they don't even want to risk, like, they changed the names on the English release but didn't really change the sprites at all. So I'm assuming that they're probably going to go ahead and change those just to avoid any possible lawsuits, because they straight up have like a beholder, the monster with a bunch of eyeballs, that's copyrighted by D&D, and they straight up used in Japan. It was straight up called the Beholder, and then they just changed the name whenever they brought it over to America. So I bet that those are probably going to be some of the changes they make.
The images that I saw was just from the main characters. There was like comparisons between how the main characters looked on the original and then like the remastered sprite.
But it is still like sprite form, right? Like I'm not a big cool.
It's supposed to
I'm
be
not
like
a big fan of those like Secret of Mana when they did that remaster and it's like cartoony instead of like the OG sprites. So
that was something else that was funny, was the Legend of Mana 30th anniversary. They've had 2 games. and they were both 20, like the second one was 27 years ago of their 30 years. Like, what's even the point?
like the like Legend of Mana, like they got a spotlight of like 30 seconds on the fucking thing too, which like Kind of like if you like those games, oh fuck you. You know?
Yeah. Hope you don't like them too much. Just play Final Fantasy. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Or even better, play this Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Yeah.
Because
You like Final Fantasy? Guardians of the Galaxy.
We like Marvel.
man.
Yeah, you like Marvel. I know you like Marvel. Now suck it up.
It wouldn't have been so bad if so much of that trailer wasn't them just sitting around making us listen to their stupid dialogue. There was so much of that trailer where they would just sit, and I'm sure during gameplay you're going to actually be playing the game and listening to it as background noise, but they would get to a spot, and when the dialogue started, they would just stop playing, and they would just let the whole dialogue play out, and then they would continue. Like, this is painful. You're not that witty. I'll just watch the movie.
Like personally, I just don't care. I'm never gonna buy that game. And okay. I'm not gonna. I don't want to sound like entitled, but motherfucker, that was like 16 or 20 minutes of just like boring.
Yeah.
Wait, was that actually 20 minutes? I slept through this.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the
appalled.
shit took forever.
Yeah, it was seriously like a 20-minute gameplay trailer, and then on the Twitch gaming channel, they played more after. And they still had more to show. They didn't even show it all. They had more like pre-rendered footage. It was wild. I
honestly believe that Square just had nothing else. But that just begs the question: like, where was Final Fantasy 16? Where was 7 Part 2? Like, or devote more time to showcasing how these pixel remasters are gonna work. Like, hello, motherfuckers, we old ass motherfucking fans are still here. We're not dead yet. Come on, bro. I know that you think that everyone that buys your games is like 14 years old, and that's why you push this Marvel crap. But I'm still here. I have a couple years left, assholes.
But I don't get it. Like,
Jesus.
aren't those like the big money machines? Why not showcase them? Create the hype
trying.
early.
Yeah, but I think so. I think the reason behind that, like in the grand scheme, is because Final Fantasy only appeals to Final Fantasy players. Guardians of the Galaxy transcends gameplay. Like it is going to get Marvel movie fans and Marvel comic fans to get that. It's going to get little kids buy. No little kid is going to be like, "Mom, please go buy me the pixel remaster of Final Fantasy 1 through 6." But a bunch of kids are going to go asking their parents for Guardians of the Galaxy. Like
Exactly.
the only people like me and Tom are going to get the pixel remaster, and me because I'm a sheep. I already own all the pixel ones.
And even like the name, like Guardians of the Galaxy, sounds cool.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing is it's not bad. It honestly didn't even look like a bad game, but why so much? Why so much?
Because they literally had nothing else. It has to be because they devoted so much time to Guardians of the Galaxy and Life is Strange, and then they just kind of just shoved everything else like in there. Like, look at this thing for like 2 seconds, and then let's move on. I don't understand. Like, there has to be some form of. So like when I don't know if we talked this about on the podcast or in our DMs or whatever, but when there was the question about is Bethesda going to show both Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, and I made the point that they're probably not going to show Elder Scrolls 6 because they want to focus on one game instead of like splitting the talk between multiple big games. And I wonder if Square made the same decision that Guardians of the Galaxy, that's the big hitter, and we're not going to show these, FF16 or even 7 Part 2 because it splits the discussion at that point. Let's have everyone talk about this one thing, and then let's show these other big games just later down the line.
Maybe because they might think that it's better to like cater to like investors, and it's probably better to like cater the stuff that you want the people to invest in. So they want money or maybe they think that because it's Marvel, people are gonna be more happy to invest money on that because they know that it's Marvel, it's gonna sell like crazy anyway. It's just have my money.
It's a
And
guaranteed 20-minute ad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
And
it
when
makes
they actually want
sense.
someone to invest in like Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2, then they do that at some other time, I guess.
The bad part is that the people that are super into Guardians of the Galaxy and are really excited for it are not the people that watch E3 primarily. So the people that they're trying to get with this 20-minute trailer are not watching E3 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They're at school. Well, not now,
or
but you know what I
work.
mean. Or work. It's
But
that
if it's
it's just
mostly
not.
for investors, then
Right.
I don't
see
know.
what they're
They
investing
already
for.
got the money though. They already
then
have that Marvel money.
why on earth would they show that then?
They just
Maybe
must.
I
That
mean,
I think it's just a lapse in judgment. I think they don't realize what the crowd that watches a Square Enix conference is, because it's not the kind of people that buy those type of games. It's me and Tum. That's why everyone is pissed at the Square Enix conference. I haven't heard one person say it was good because everyone that is just wanting more of this remaster.
because obviously
crap.
Square thinks that the game is good. That's why they showcase the game that much.
And it could be. It could be good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Honestly, like, I personally did not like the gameplay that they showed. It's not for me. But yeah, I mean, if you want to play a game that looks like it could fit, I don't know, the PlayStation 2, I fucking go for it.
Yeah, I think it'll be
I don't know.
just judging from the layout, it looks like it's going to be another Ultimate Alliance reskin. Marvel does that a lot. They've had 3 or 4 Ultimate Alliances now, and then they've released 2 or 3 X-Men games with the same kind of like 4-person team mechanic. And I know that
Question.
they've done at least
In those Ultimate Alliance games, can you play all of the characters or only one?
all of them. But I don't think it's going to be that way in this, because it didn't show them anyone playing anything but Star-Lord.
Yeah, so that is confirmed that you're gonna only be playing Star-Lord, but you can issue commands to the other Guardians.
Right. Yeah. So the bigger thing from it is it has really monotonous gameplay. It is a very, very button mashy game. That's the more important part than because I did notice that he was just pressing buttons and it was just calling them in. But if it also follows the gameplay standard, because it did like have the 4 people down like in the bottom corner that was on your team, and that's kind of the thing that jumped out to me the most, because that's in every one of those games, is your bottom right hand corner is your team.
I just wonder like if that's like a missed opportunity, because they already have the Avengers game out where you can play like a multitude of different heroes. It kind of feels like a step back. Now you have like an actual team, like from the Marvel universe. Like the Guardians is an actual team, and they're unique characters with unique skills. Why not give the opportunity to play all of them in this game?
Yeah. I'm not sure why this game wasn't just a DLC, unless they've already given up on that Avengers game, which is pretty likely.
$60 extra dollars. That's why.
Oh, true.
You
Touche.
full price it.
So like
They can sell it for
Guardian,
$80.
well, yeah, that too. The Guardians game apparently is not going to be like a live service game at all, but just like a straight up single player game. And again, like, people were fucking applauding. No microtransactions, boys. Hooray! Let's applaud the bare fucking minimum.
We clap at things that like we don't want, that they don't do anymore. like it's not like clapping at like, oh, they did this. We're like, oh, thank God they didn't do this.
I have a suggestion for the next Marvel game. Why not have like a Civil War kind of team and have like two teams, and then you would have to like buy microtransactions to boost your team, and it will be like globally like setting who is winning and who is not.
Here we go again.
And have it
North
like
with the bad
constantly be
ideas.
like 48, 52, and then someone has to like put the real credit card and buy some currency so you can buy more tanks for this team, and then you can win it.
We got to
Something
delete this
crazy like
pod
that.
after we're done. We
How
got to delete
amazing
this
would
pod.
that be?
No clips. No, we don't need any people hearing this idea. Squeezing the money out of us.
That would
Just-
be like the money maker, dude.
There's gonna
Just
be a
straight-
day when North just announces to us that he works for like the biggest douchebag company there is.
Hi, my name's not actually North. It's Mr. EA.
Yeah.
And his title is just Idea Man.
The idea, man.
As the business card.
But yeah, don't do that. That was
Yeah,
just me playing around, a little foolsy fool.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. Don't do it.
Yeah,
It's a
don't
bad
do it.
idea.
Yeah, but I don't know why
Unless.
they did it like that. Like just like 20 minutes of I mean, yeah, they didn't have anything to show. I think like if you're talking about who did like structurally did what I think we wanted to watch at least was like Devolver, Xbox, Bethesda, Nintendo, and then like even if you weren't the biggest fan of it, Ubisoft. Like I think unironically Ubisoft's like structure was decent.
Yeah. And Ubi did not have like a Just Dance section where they had live performers. That was pretty hype that they skipped that shit. Because they've opened up their show with live performance of Just Dance dancers now for a number of years, and
Yeah.
finally they took the hint.
And
'Cause
Just Dance
they were gonna do it.
It's not coming out on the Wii. This is the first Just Dance to not come out on the Wii.
I was ready. I was ready.
Fuck.
What am I supposed to do now?
Yeah, no, I bet money the reason they didn't do that, Tom, is because it was virtual. I think if there
Yeah,
was a live
probably.
audience,
Oh, yeah.
they would have been all over it. Can't wait for next year.
Please
Yeah,
don't do it, Ubisoft. Please don't.
I am, if we're going to Ubisoft real quick, I was kind of one of the Rabbids and Mario game. I like Mario, so the first one was good. I'll play it. I don't like Rabbids though. Ugly. My favorite thing at the Ubisoft conference, other than that, was because I like racing games. I think that Riders game, the Riders Republic game, could be pretty good. I think it's not
Mm.
going to be good. I think it has the potential, like the idea is great. And I heard someone say, if anyone else made that game, it would be pretty good. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, because the idea of it's really cool. Like, oh, you can snowboard and bike and do all that, and like it's pretty cool. It's kind of like skate idea. I don't know, but I like those types of games. But I'm scared since Ubisoft has it. But I hope it's good. That's my one hope.
I'm gonna be right
mean-
back.
I mean, Ubisoft doesn't usually make bad games. They're just kind of repetitive. They just kind of
Yeah.
get dull. So I mean, just because it's made by Ubisoft, it might be okay. I mean, every like third Assassin's Creed is good, right? Maybe we'll just get lucky.
They also showed Assassin's Creed DLC, right? For what's the Viking one called? I can't remember.
Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed DLC for that, which I cannot remember what it was about. But that's one of the conferences I watched.
That's not very Ubi like to have like DLCs for their games, right?
Yeah, they
Not
were
usually.
very. That was a very big point they talked about. They were like, and for the first time ever, we're continuing the Assassin's Creed game, like, or we're continuing to support it like a second year into its, which is funny because
We're gonna support more than 1 year this game.
yeah. Well, people were getting upset. They were pulling like 2K and like Need for Speed, Guitar Hero, like doing one every single year.
Yeah.
So I like the direction they're going in with that. I don't know if it'll be good or not, but I just structure wise, I think Ubisoft did a decent job, which I'm proud of, or I was thoroughly surprised by.
Yeah. Since we came on to Mario and Rabbids, and Tom won't miss out on this. How'd you like the Nintendo Direct?
Oh my gosh, I loved it. That's my favorite. Easy.
Was it?
I'm a big Nintendo boy, but like Mario Golf, oh my gosh, looks good. Breath of the Wild 2, which was my like hope for that, it showed. Metroid 5, I saw you tag me in that. I was very hyped. The 3DS Metroid games are really good. So like having a 3DS Metroid game, Metroid Dread, and it like kind of like horror-esque. It's not gonna be scary, but just like the undertone of it, I think is pretty cool. What else they announced? And Super Monkey Ball remake. I'm all over that.
I'm probably gonna get that too. Honestly,
it looks sick.
Yeah, I haven't played a bunch of those, but they always seem like a lot of fun.
Did you play the first two?
It was probably one of the original two. I think the first one I played was on the PS1. So
yeah, the first two are amazing, and those that's what they're remaking. Any like Banana Blitz and stuff, I'm not a big fan of. Those weren't really too good, but like I like that they're bringing back Advance Wars. I didn't like the art style, but they announced a Tekken character for Smash. Like I think everything Nintendo announced just hit a game I play. Like I would buy almost everything they announced.
They did put out a lot of really good stuff.
Which is, I don't know. I'm a big Nintendo fanboy, so that's why it was my favorite. Arguably, if we were picking like definitive best, it would probably be Xbox just because Game Pass and free, and that was great. But Nintendo one was very solid, I think.
I'm a big fan of this WarioWare game. I really like.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Those games are
good.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that day one. I'm gonna play shit out of it. And now it's multiplayer. So,
which one was it?
WarioWare, get it together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
New Mario Party 2, which is just it's like a remake of the old one, sort of new.
Yeah. It's like a greatest hits, basically. Which I'm totally fine with. Because they said that there's like 100 mini games in this one. Or 100, and how many boards? I can't remember.
They had a greatest hits game for the 3DS Mario Party, but it was like just mini games, and this one seems like an actual Mario Party game, so I think that's what people are really excited about. Also, it has online support, like actual full online support, like the last one didn't have when it came out.
Thank Jesus for that, man.
Yeah. They were like, we have online in the first one. What you can do is you can play not every single mini game together online, and that's it. And this year they're like, it's the whole game is online, and there's like lobbies for it too, so you don't have to have friends or anything. So
that's good.
I think they did everything right, which is good. Breath of the Wild 2 made me happy inside, even if they didn't show much.
Yeah, for sure. Breath of the Wild 2 stuff was. I'm actually kind of excited for the Skyward Sword re-release. I never got to buy it, and now it's kind of pricey, and I don't care enough to pay that much.
Joe, if you give me your address in public, I have 2 copies of it. I'm not even joking. I have 2 copies of it if you want me to mail you one for the Wii, just to have it.
Why does he have to give his address in public to you, though? Can't he DM
that
shit?
It has to be in public, though. It's got to be on my stream, and I'm screenshotting it.
Yeah, dude. I won't take it for free. We'll talk about it afterwards, though.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, and it looked pretty good. So pretty excited for that because it seemed like they're kind of and they definitely planned this out. It seemed like Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be kind of Skyward Swordy from what we saw. That we saw some floating islands and a lot more flying through the air. So it could be good.
One game was kind of weird that there was this Worms Rumble. It apparently gets like a Switch release too, and it's kind of weird that they decided to make the game a real-time action, which is kind of weird that it was the only thing that separates it from every other platform type of brawler game. Why not just stick to it? Why make it real-time? That was kind of weird.
Did you ever play Worms Rumble, like the original one? No. Not like the original one, but it came out a few years ago. I got it because it was like an Xbox Games with gold thing, so I got it when I was playing on Xbox a few years ago. It's fine. It's just a shooter.
Yeah, it just becomes a shooter. But why not have it like the original Worms?
Yeah, no,
I
I
think it
much
would be
prefer
just
that.
better. But then again, you have to like evolve your game somehow. You can't just make the same thing over and over again and have new maps and new weapons. It has to have something new. But in my opinion, that might have been not the best move.
True.
But yeah.
I remember when Worms went 3D and the entire series tanked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the original Worms quite a bit. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Worms 3D is not.
But Nintendo was by far my favorite. Just because it hit all those niche things that I like. So
Yeah, I do feel like they had a lot to give this year. They had a big variety of games, and they had Guardians of the Galaxy, so that's pretty
oh,
sick.
never mind. It was my least favorite conference.
Yeah, like they even had Fatal Frame. Those games are amazing. I'm so
Oh.
glad that a Fatal Frame game is coming to the Switch.
That looked good too. I forgot about that one too.
Yeah, those games, they're pretty spooky too. Pretty spoopy. I believe it or not, I actually have played one of those games to completion, and it's only because I played it with someone else.
Was it 1 or 2?
I want to say it was 2 because I rented it. Oh, gosh, I mean, whenever it came out. So, like,
2 had the twin sisters in it, if that helps you
it
at
was
all.
2. Yeah, it
All
was
right.
2,
That's the only one I've played as well. So
and it was good. It was spooky as hell. I'll probably pee my
Capcom,
pants playing this one.
Capcom's show was
Ugh.
it was kind of weird. If you like Monster Hunter, it was probably pretty good for you, especially if you're in for the story. But I remember like watching it, and I just couldn't like wrap around the fact that the the lady talking would like constantly smile, and she would not stop smiling, and she would like keep talking and smiling, and I don't know how can you keep this up? It was so weird that like you have to have a talent for that, or like how do you do that? You don't have to smile all the time, just at the between lines maybe.
years of customer service.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Uh,
they're gonna have their 25th anniversary, and they're gonna give away a RE Verse game. I'm pretty sure they said they're gonna give it away to everyone who bought the Village.
Yeah, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, but
I don't know if
I
it's
think
good.
the game
but
is something that no one really asked for.
yeah, free
Maybe.
games are free games though.
And free games are free games, but then again, you already paid it because you bought the Village.
Small portion of your purchase game is a small portion purchase of your game.
Yeah. But that is probably something like they're gonna like throw people in the game, because I feel like RE Verse is not something that you just, oh, this is a game I want to buy. It's more like, oh, because I have this, I better play it because it's
Yeah.
already free, and Village sold like 1 billion copies.
And
So
now
you already
because
have your player base.
and now because it's free and I've invested in it, they're gonna add microtransactions, and it's only $5. So I'm gonna spend $5 on it, and then $10.
Per week.
Yeah. Capcom, that if it's Capcom's press conf or its whole conference was, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Like, I'm mad at the Square Enix one, but I'm not mad at Capcom. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
they should
like
have
you
not
said-
had one.
They really shouldn't have. There was nothing new. This could have been one trailer. We already knew about these other things. This
They
could have
could've-
just been an Ace Attorney trailer. If
Or
you
they
liked
could've-
Ace Attorney, it was probably pretty good.
I love Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
And they have a
Herlock-
character named Herlock Sholmes.
Yeah,
So, like,
I noticed that too. It was so weird.
And I
Sherlock
guess like
Holmes.
all of his deductions are totally wrong, and the main point of this game is you like arguing with him at the crime scene. I keep meaning to play these games because they seem so absurdly fun, but I still haven't went back.
I've played through the first 2, and I played through them in middle school on my phone because the iOS ports are not terrible. But I love Ace Attorney's great games. I'm not a big visual novel guy, but it got my attention. There's enough gameplay during the courtrooms where you get to like brain out who done it, and it's fun. So I think you'd like it, Joe.
That's the only thing that stopped me from playing it is I have zero interest in visual novels.
Oh yeah.
But if it does like kind of keep you thinking the whole time, because I feel like I perceive a visual novel like a movie, and I don't feel involved. I feel like a passive observer, even in those. So if I am like more involved in those, I'll definitely, because didn't they release the first 3 on the Switch?
Yes,
Or
they remastered. The text and art looked better. That's all you gotta
Yeah.
do. But yeah,
upgraded those graphics, the hand drawn graphics.
yeah. Like I genuinely love those games though. Like at least you get to like walk around and figure out the story, and it makes you figure. It doesn't hand you like this is what happened. You actually do kind of figure it out. Like it's like half and half, I guess.
Yeah.
It's engaging enough.
Yeah, and everyone I know that has played them has nothing but good things to say about them. So I'm certain they're good. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. There's a big list.
I'm gonna show a trailer.
Oh,
In this one, I'm gonna sit in silence and let the and have like volume on it.
and I'm going to scream over it.
Like a banshee.
As loud as possible.
Like a banshee.
Yeah, everyone turn your volume up as loud as it'll rip.
This is probably the trailer after Elden Ring that I watched the most. I really fucking, I don't know. There's something about this game that just like captivates me like heavily. Here we go. That's a little loud.
I must have totally missed that. That's hot as hell.
Whew.
That
can't
trailer
remember.
was amazing.
It was the Xbox one.
Yeah, you didn't miss it, Joe. I don't know, like I actually don't know if you worked at the same time, but yeah, we watched that together.
Yeah, I was probably looking away for work stuff. I definitely I watched as much as I could, but being as I was at work, I had to do stuff sometime.
The camera shake is probably not that bad, Rosa. Or if there is camera shake, then there probably is an option to disable it. Because yeah, me too. Like, because I don't like camera shake at all. I turned that stuff off. But yeah, that was replaced. And like, I just want to go back on the trailer just a little bit. I'm gonna find the spot.
I
Like,
just want to point out that how much stress that warning sound induced in me for no reason.
Like look at the lighting. Look at like, oh my god. Let's go back a little bit.
Oh, I didn't even notice like the lighting to go across the building.
Look at like that is so sick. Like holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy fucking.
It
Damn.
definitely has a very good style. I like that a lot.
Like that.
It's like a Katana Zero and Octopath Traveler mixed together if you put RTX, ray tracing on it.
Yeah.
You see, like I hope it's gonna be a game just like, Katana Zero is a great like example on it looks like it has like that very narrative driven game, and maybe a little bit gameplay sprinkled here and there, but fuck me if that's another one of those 4-hour games that you can sit through in one sitting, I'm all over that stuff. I love those indie games so much. Like Katana Zeros, it's up there. Gris is up there. Little Nightmares is up there. Those short games that are super focused and handcrafted from start to finish. Fucking give it to me right now.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. Those are great, and they're very unique experiences a lot of the time. Like those very short games, like Katana Zero for sure was one that came out of nowhere. The complexity in that game's story completely blindsided me, and something like that I could easily see doing it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, those type of things are good.
Yeah, replaced coming in 2022. No actual like release date, but I'm gonna just link this trailer in chat if you guys want to watch it like on your own. Because fuck me, that's one good looking trailer.
Yeah, it's beautiful for sure.
Katana Zero DLC when, man, like they promised some DLC. They promised some DLC, and I have yet to see. I would be super hyped about some Katana Zero DLC.
That was like one of the first games of 2021 I played, and it was stellar.
Yeah. And yeah, it is only like a 4 or 5 hour game. Absolutely, if you have the time to play it, I would always recommend Katana Zero. You want to talk about Devolver Digital?
Please.
Yeah, we could talk about the greatest fucking conference during E3. Sure. Devolver wins every year.
Yeah. The titles may not bring the biggest amount of hype, but they are always very interesting. But their conference, it's like if everyone else is down here, they're like they have transcended to another plane of existence to bring us these conferences. They pull them from another dimension, probably.
If you don't know what Devolver Digital is, I'm just gonna say that their Twitter says that in their bio it says athletic attire for busy mothers or something like that. So basically, that tells quite a lot.
Wow.
The biggest meme. The best meme.
It's very meme-ish.
And they put out some really unique stuff this year. Once again, Devolver Digital is actually releasing an only physical game. You can't download it. You have to buy a physical copy for the Switch.
Because that's what Devolver is about.
Yeah. And I already pre-ordered it. I sat in line on their store.
Did you?
Yeah.
There's a line?
There was a line. It originally was said like 30 minutes, but it was like 15. But yeah, I sat in a virtual queue for that game.
They also, so before
Here's
E3
the
even started,
this is the link that Rose tried to send.
I'm gonna quickly see if it's what I think it is.
Yeah, oh, the physical only game while he's pulling that up was Demon Throttle. It looked like a basically like a not a side scroller, but like a top down, like a Galaga style game, except not in space. But you know, it's that type of gameplay where you're actually going up the screen, in NES graphics, which is pretty sick because you do see a lot of like Super NES style retro stuff these days, but you don't see nearly as much NES stuff. And even though you have half as many pixels and colors and whatnot, it's still, I think that you can still make games look really, really good with those limitations. And Demon Throttle is definitely going to flex those muscles just from what we've seen.
I
Yeah.
really liked that what the card game that was like kind of a horror card game, not really
Inscription.
about the card game thing. That game looks sick.
I'm gonna talk
Yeah.
about Inscription just in a second because I look forward to that too very much. But yeah, I appreciate Devolver's non fuckwithable tape too, and like a week before E3 started, I watched a couple videos on YouTube that were like predictions and stuff. And in one of the videos, they said that they hope that Devolver makes a skit about NFTs, and then they fucking did it. So the non-fuckwithable tape, which is a play on like NFTs, they actually made an NFT. They sold one copy, one VHS tape of the entire conference for like a ridiculous.
$1,000, I think.
Was it like 5,000? I don't remember, but it was something stupid though, and it completely sold out instantly. Obviously, like someone fucking bought it. And it's that sort of like fuckery that I love from Devolver. They do these ridiculous things that have like virtually no meaning, but they just do it. And some fucker is like, oh, I'll buy into that.
Me and Tom were sitting in voice while they were doing that, and I immediately went to the store to see if she was telling the truth, and it was already sold out. Like, she announced it, and I went to check to see if she was being real, and it was already sold out. And that wasn't even all the dumb stuff they had. They had a whole suit. You could buy a tuxedo, a purple tuxedo from them, and those sold out. They were $500 a piece in only 2 sizes, and it still sold out. It was wild.
But that's how you like. That's how I know Devolver. That if I remember anything from E3, it's gonna be Devolver.
Yeah. Yeah, and how the woman who's been giving us these conferences all this time just gets the coffee for everybody else. Like the person we thought was like the center of the Devolver universe is just the coffee girl.
Yeah, and an intense amount of chili dogs.
An intense amount of chili dogs.
I really loved when I think it was the coffee girl that made like 20, and then there was the dude in the back just like taking them, like while she was talking, and then the Twitch chat was just saying stuff like the Glizzy Goblin strikes again. Like I was dying.
Yeah, it was a great conference.
The game that Trevor mentioned, I'll show this too. Like, why not? Inscription is a game by Daniel Mullins. I love Daniel Mullins. I've played all his games. I don't want to really talk about the games other than everyone should play Pony Island and everyone should play The Hex, which are both Daniel Mullins' games. And you should play those games completely blind, because what you initially think those games are about, they are definitely not about that.
Yeah, it's a whole their experiences.
Yes.
And this game already, I want to know what the twist is. I want to know what is gonna happen in this. Like that's creepy. Where he's like he's reached. That creeps me out every time I see it. I can't wait. It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
Like everywhere he moved, there would be like the eyes would like follow him. Kinda weird.
And then it showed your cards talking to you sometimes. I thought that was really interesting. So like your deck is gonna be a character basically. It looked like. Oh.
I will play Inscription day one. Like Daniel Mullen. Like I've had this like internal like battle. Like what game do I think is better? Like Pony Island or the Hex? And I've come to the conclusion that neither is better than the other because they are both two unique experiences that are not comparable. Even though I'm talking about video games. I usually tell people to play Pony Island instead of the Hex because I think Pony Island is more digestible, I guess.
I think Pony Island is also a more unique experience than the Hex is, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do.
So, and that's all we can say about it. Like that's what's so crazy about the boundaries that those two games go through is that's all we can say about it. Is that Pony Island is more unique because anything more than that'll ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, and even if I wanted to like tell like Pony Island is this type of game, I couldn't like put it in the words.
Yeah, I wouldn't know where to start without
Yeah.
spoiling the whole game. Like
Yeah.
you can't really say anything.
But it is not a game about ponies.
That's not true. There's ponies.
Is there
It-
islands?
it-
I don't know anything about this game.
You gotta play
It
Pony
literally
Island.
says on the Steam page, it is not a game about ponies.
Yeah, you absolutely, Trevor. Please, if you play, dude, I
You love
want
it,
to watch.
Trevor.
Please stream Pony Island. It's only
Deals,
like
I'll do it.
it's only like a 3 or 4 hour game. I think that's about how long it took me to beat it. I sat down and beat it in one stream. So absolutely, please stream Pony Island.
I'm down.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
I bugged
buy
Joe
it.
for like a year. Like, please play Pony Island. Like, I felt bad about it too.
I played it and I loved it. I won't even say anything. So yeah, it was good. And what's crazy is that those two games are so unique from one another, and then this is still like still another departure from what those are. Like that's what's so wild about these three games, all made by the same guy, is they are not anything alike. Like usually people kind of stay in their lane, and this guy is just all over the road, and that's awesome.
Yeah, like Inscription looks just so fucking interesting. It feels like Daniel Mullins is like stepping even further into like these weird boundaries. He's certainly like an experimental dude. I would call his games like experimental, and particularly with the Hex, I think Daniel really wanted to like tell something to someone being the player, because that game like went very meta at the end of it.
It is so meta game.
Oh yeah. It. Whew. Both games, fucking. I'm not gonna assign a score to them, but they are fucking 10 out of 10.
If your like mindset is on like wanting something different, and then you probably enjoy them. But if you go them in like, oh, it's probably gotta be good, like Call of Duty, and you're probably not gonna enjoy it. But you have to like have a certain mentality when you go into him, I think.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
I
to
would
go in
agree.
very, very open-minded.
Yeah.
You go in with no expectations.
Because undoubtedly there's people who don't enjoy those games. Like Joe and me, we happen to enjoy those games. And I know why I enjoy them. And my reasons are my own. I feel like most people who do enjoy those games, they like those games because they are surprising. it's everyone's probably met that one dude when you were younger in school who only watched indie movies and couldn't shut the fuck up about them. This is kind of like that.
For sure. And hopefully Inscription is just carries on that torch of being so fucking weird you just don't even know what's going on the whole time, and then the game's over.
Yeah.
I am that kid.
But that was by far my favorite announcement at the Devolver thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for me too. But I'm just so biased towards like Daniel Mullins.
I think mine was the Demon Throttle thing, only because it's a physical only release and that's what I'm about. So they threw it right in my wheelhouse and I caught it.
So the crazy thing is like Devolver showed like Shadow Warrior 3, which has been shown a bunch of times at this point and is like heavily marketed now for months. Shadow Warrior 3 looks like a really silly, fun, stupid game that I'm definitely gonna play. And then immediately after Shadow Warrior 3, which is a very kind of wacky shooter with like very colorful and like wacky and weird. Then they show this thing. Like, they go from that to this black and white kind of feudal Japan kind of deal, which, and I know there's no audio, but you know, this, like, where the fuck did they pull this Akira Kurosawa kind of movie deal, which is a game now apparently?
What was really funny about this trailer is the sound effects they played at the start, I think on stream were very much too loud. And I don't know if y'all remember that. But just in my ear, it like caught me off guard. And I don't know if that was just like, oh, the sound effects are out of place, so I think they're loud, or they were actually just like somebody messed up and they were really loud. But that's what the game looked good. I thought it was gonna be a joke game because of that. But maybe I'm just like I'm tripping, I don't know.
They actually like make fun because it has the like at the beginning it says like actual game footage, nothing pre-rendered or something like that.
Yeah, actual gameplay, nothing pre-rendered. But like, I feel like Trek to Yomi is also just a unique kind of game. Like, when have you ever played a black and white video game?
Limbo? Is Limbo
Limbo is, yeah. Yeah.
There's an option in what was the
Ghost of
PS4?
Tsushima.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, I didn't realize that had a black and white option. That's kind of cool.
Very weird option.
Yeah, it's specifically there because of like the Akira Kurosawa movies.
And there was this weird game that had like the more you played it, you would like unlock different kind of filters. I don't remember which game that was. I think Tom
God of
played it.
Roboto.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Oh,
God of
yeah.
Roboto. It had a black and white too. And I remember from way back in the day that one Mickey Mouse game. That first level was black and white.
Yeah, I can't remember the one where you paint though.
I have no idea what the name of
Mickey?
that.
What?
Y'all talking about Epic Mickey?
Epic Mickey, that's the one.
No, I'm not talking about Epic Mickey.
Oh, okay.
This is like from the early 90s.
Oh, you're talking about I actually just beat that game a couple weeks ago. Gosh. It's probably, yeah, I know exactly what game you're talking about because every one of them is like a different Mickey Mouse short. You start out at Steamboat Willie.
Mickey Mania.
Mickey Mania. Yeah, I actually just beat that game a few weeks ago. I was playing it for the SNES. Pretty good game. Yeah, I don't know that the samurai game though wasn't really doing it for me. It didn't seem. I mean, it was okay, but it didn't really grab me.
I think it just doesn't show what it's all about yet.
Yeah, I hope it's also like a more story-driven game, just like, you know, Katana Zero. or in Sprinkle's game playthrough. I don't know. Other than that,
Yeah.
like, Phantom Abyss was also kind of shown, but that was also like shown before even this event. Phantom Abyss is something that I'm gonna buy. It seems like a super unique kind of game where you run like a gauntlet, and there's like ghosts that run the gauntlet with you. But the gimmick is that there's only every gauntlet that you see can only be beat once, and if you beat a gauntlet, you're the only person in the world who has beaten that gauntlet. And every ghost that you see is a person who ran that gauntlet and died. So you can kind of follow them and see where it's safe. And obviously, when the last one dies, then you're on your own. And then if you die, your ghost will appear for someone else, and they can run the gauntlet too.
I remember that one. That was a very cool, interesting idea, but you could easily fall into like No Man's Sky, where it's like everyone can find their own planet because there's so many, and it's like you could lose the charm if they're too randomized and but similar. And
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I hope it's randomized. I think the game dies if the gauntlets are too similar.
yeah, but at some point it's like, is it randomized to a point where it's like, you know how like there were 3 trillion planets in No Man's Sky? It's like if there's an infinite number of gauntlets, where at what point does it become like, do they have enough content to make it at least feel
Yeah.
like every gauntlet you go through is unique?
Yeah.
Oh, probably not. That
Yeah.
won't happen.
And
that's
well,
me.
that hits upon the longevity of the game, I guess.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It feels like the game, if it wants to survive, they need to like push more content out on it.
Yeah.
It is dope though.
Yeah, I'll try it
That's
out.
really cool. I didn't realize that only one person could beat every level. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's like the kind of the selling point of the game, kind of.
Well, what
So
I
they add a
thought,
battle royale mode.
yeah, eventually it'll have a battle royale mode for sure.
Probably.
You versus 99 ghosts.
Exactly.
I honestly would not be opposed to like a battle royale speedrun game. That'd be kind of cool.
Wouldn't it be basically just like 3D or like Fall Guys, but you can't like fuck with each other?
Maybe. The thing I can think closest to a battle royale speedrunning game is when they had like Mario 99, that like off-brand browser game,
Yeah,
which was really good, that Nintendo took down, where it was like it gives you I think it was a randomized Mario level, or no, it was just a regular Mario level, and then it's like whoever can beat it first wins.
yeah. It was you actually started at 1-1 at the first level, and you just played through the game.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it would end whenever someone beat it, or whenever it was just down to one Mario.
But like if it's that and then have like randomized dungeons in it, I could see it being cool. If they add that. I mean, we're talking hypotheticals at this point, but
Yeah, it could be really fun. I'm sure it'll be really fun, at least for a little while. We'll see.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, we'll see how long it goes, though. Wizard with a gun seems interesting only because of the name. I'm not a big fan of like it looks like Starve Together, and I'm not a huge fan of those games. Or Don't Starve Together. Not Starve Together. Don't Starve. And I'm not a huge fan of those, but it's a wizard with a gun. So I'm probably gonna try it. Whether or not I like it, we'll see.
Yeah, honestly, like the animated section of the trailer was way more interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I was super pumped, and then they showed gameplay, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because it kind of fell flat for me at that point too. Like, I'm like, oh man, it's not the same art style anymore. The old one was way better.
Yeah, because the like you said, the animated parts were awesome, and then
Well, it is what it is.
it is what it be.
I want to go back to Xbox a little bit.
Yeah.
The devs who made Limbo and Inside, they announced a new game called Somerville. Somerville. Don't really know. The trailer is kind of crap, honestly. But because the devs are who they are, that makes me interested in the game, and I will certainly like at least keep an eye out for it. And Starfield was shown.
Woo! Cinematics.
Yeah, I'm indifferent.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not a Bethesda guy to begin with, and then I'm not huge into sci-fi stuff, and then it didn't have any gameplay. Just a big triangle of meh.
yeah, I mean,
The
I'm not
only
like,
thing, like
You go.
gameplay wise, is Todd Howard said in an interview afterwards, is like it's he said it's like Skyrim in space, and that's all I needed to hear. So I hope it's good. I like Skyrim.
and honestly, like, I don't think anyone can have a real opinion about Starfield yet, because nobody saw anything. We got a release date, 11/11/21, or no, 11/11/22. Sorry. So that'll be exactly 11 years after Skyrim.
Long ass time though. 2022.
Yeah, I mean,
Year and a half or so.
I honestly am like kind of relieved for that, because usually Bethesda games are so fucking janky when they come out. They probably need that development time. But yeah, honestly, I also read parts of the interview where Todd said that it's gonna be the most RPG they ever made.
I don't believe that.
Both North and Joe's face in unison.
Most RPG they made.
I don't know what that means, and I also
Yeah.
don't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I believe it. What he means is that they're gonna have the most like RPG mechanics, I guess.
But
Oh, yeah,
you
the
can
match-
get better at sleeping during the night or something.
It's gonna be
times the detail.
so immersive. You have to remember to change your socks when they get wet.
Yeah.
Do change your socks, people. Wet feet, they're not good.
Not good. You want
You're
to
gonna
change
get a
those
job
socks
in
often.
game. You're gonna start out minimum wage. No vacation days. It requires you to log on every single day.
Yeah. You start out as an intern at Space Corps.
Yeah, honestly, like,
Unpaid intern.
I don't know anything about like the game itself, and it'll be what it'll be. But it's on Game Pass, so
Okay, I
I'll
guess I'll
play
try
it.
it.
Oh, that's fine then.
Oh, well, that changes everything. Yeah, this is gonna be
Yeah.
a great game.
great fucking game.
Yeah,
I can't wait to play it.
like Rose said, that said Creation Engine 2. They were throwing that in your face. It's
Yeah.
different, we promise.
Yeah, I mean it is clearly there to shut up people on Reddit and Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those same idiots, they don't understand that it's still the fucking same engine. They've just updated the engine.
They just changed the name.
Yeah, I mean, because that's their fault. They should have done that like fucking forever ago. This
Yeah.
should be the Creation Engine 6 or whatever at this point. But they, because they didn't realize that people are fucking stupid. Including me way back at some point, because I was stupid too. Until I learned some things. Man.
But you
Yeah.
have assets from like Skyrim.
Oh, it'll
Dude.
definitely have assets from some game.
Yeah. But like a game from 11 years ago.
It's gonna have a
Morrowind.
ton of just tons of Fallout assets with all the rust peeled away. So all the tech looks shiny and new and would fit right in space.
Nice.
Remember like the fridge you could buy in Fallout 76? They have it like that, but it's polished.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
That's
you
what
can
they'll
buy a
do.
fridge in that game? You
Yeah,
have to
it would-
pay for a fridge?
Yep.
Of course you do.
Doesn't surprise me.
And it was like $20 or something stupid.
But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful because, like, I'm a sucker for like those Bethesda RPGs. Like even though it's been downhill ever since number 3. Number 3 was a long ass time ago, and I don't know. Skyrim was pretty substantial. I'd say it's downhill after Skyrim.
I know a lot of people that really enjoyed Oblivion too. Oh, a lot of people say a lot of the people I've talked to about them have said that Oblivion's probably their favorite of them
Yeah, you know why?
because they haven't played Morrowind.
Yeah.
Is that really what you were gonna say?
Oh yeah. Oblivion was the
Okay.
first one they played, so that's why it's their favorite.
Yeah.
Same with
the
me
people-
and Skyrim, probably.
Exactly. And that's why the people who have played Morrowind, they say the same thing. Morrowind is the best because that's what they played first.
Well,
'Cause,
I played
like-
Morrowind first, and I don't have a favorite.
Well, that's because you don't know greatness when it stares you in the face.
Accurate. I didn't know how to play that game. I was really confused.
And like,
It is. Nostalgia goggles are crazy.
oh yeah, they are, and I fully realize, like, because I grew up with those games, and they were like a part of my formative years. So, but like even when Fallout 4 came out, I really felt that sting. That goddamn, it doesn't have the magic anymore. And even with like New Vegas, which is not made by Bethesda but by Obsidian, it's by far the best Fallout. And then Obsidian put out Outer Worlds, and I was so fucking hyped for that because they can't call it Fallout because of copyright issues, but it's gonna be fucking New Vegas 2 in space. It's so great. And then it just like was a pretty good 5 out of 10 and like boring as hell.
The trailer for the second one was good though. If y'all watched that, I think they showed.
Oh
that
yeah,
at
I mean the trailer for the second game is probably the funniest trailer from the entire E3 thing.
Yeah.
But again, like it
For sure.
has zero gameplay in it, and no
Yeah.
one really knows. I'm curious how many people work for Obsidian, because they're working on Outer Worlds 2. They're working on that first-person RPG game that called Awakening or whatever. They're working on Grounded, and there's also like rumors that they're working on like an isometric RPG like not Path of Exile,
Path of
but
Exile.
not Path of Exile. I'm blanking on the name, but an isometric like RPG. So like, if they're working on 4 fucking games within one studio, how many people work there? And
the next Bethesda.
it's 3 confirmed games that they work on. That's crazy. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's wild. And it's not like it's even been that long. Like they don't have a huge turnaround time either. Like it's not been that long that Outer Worlds has been out, and they're already
Yeah.
cranking through Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, they must have a buttload of people.
I don't know. Or they are super efficient. I've heard that the Grounded team is pretty small though. Just maybe a dozen people.
Pretty grounded, you would say.
Mm. Mm. Grounded also they showcased Grounded. They probably because they've been kind of quiet about it. So they probably trying to prop up a little bit because they actively are putting up updates on it and I think Grounded is a great game. I will probably pick it up again once it's like fully ready with all the features. But we played it with Sully and old Trevor. It's an interesting game because it's Honey I Shrunk the Kids setting and it's cool, and the spiders look fucking terrifying. Like I don't have a fear of spiders or anything, but when those motherfuckers are coming for me, I'm a scared little bitch.
Does it have
You
that
saw
same
the-
like subnautical horror feel where it's not like inherently the most scary thing in the world, but just like its presence, I guess?
Oh, they know that the spiders are scary.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah,
like a
well-
specific like spider settings that you can make them just round
Okay.
balls.
Yeah. They have arachnophobia mode that you can it's a slider and you
Mhm.
basically adjust how many details, and if you turn it all the way down it's just like a ball and then like two eyeballs and just like they doesn't even have legs. It is literally just floating
it
balls.
just floats, yeah. And
That's
which
the scary one.
I applaud them
Yeah.
for doing that. Like honestly, that's really cool because like when I saw the spiders like first time in game, like legitimately terrifying. Scared the shit out of me. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that's
But
really
Grounded
cool.
is nice. It's a nice little game, and you know they are focusing a lot on the survival aspects and building and stuff, and you know probably doing some questing and shit. It's a cool game, and I honestly don't know why that concept has not been done before.
Just hadn't got there yet. They still got to work through all those other survival horror or survival crafting genres. They're still working through zombies. So just took a while to get to to Tiny Town, I guess.
True. What you think of the Redfall trailer, Joe?
Redfall. Let me refresh my memory on which one that was. Oh, it
Isn't
looked
that made
interesting.
by I want to say Dishonored people, right? Was it?
It-
It was. Can't remember.
I don't remember who it's yeah, it was from the same people. That looked
Arcane,
really
yeah.
interesting. Yeah. It looked really interesting. I if the actual game is anything like the cinematic trailer we got, I think it'll be really cool. It's basically a bunch of like superhero vampire hunters.
Yeah. For some reason, this trailer got a ton of dislikes.
Probably because it's just gameplay. I feel like people just inherently hate those these days.
Or like cinematic.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It was just cinematic.
I don't know.
No
It
game.
looks like it gives me Left 4 Dead vibes with vampire superhero powers.
It
Yeah.
gives like Fortnite vibes for some reason.
Yeah, I think like, and this is kind of what makes me not interested in this game. It's yet another co-op shooter where you fight supernatural beings. Like I'm
Yeah.
down with Back for Blood, because you know because of Left 4 Dead. I don't know if I'm down for this.
Yeah. We'll see. It'll be on Xbox Game Pass, so
Yeah, so
We can all
you
try
know,
it together.
Yeah.
and this is like the real reason why I said that the real winners are, you know, who have Game Pass, because even when I acknowledge that this game is kind of meh for me, I'll fucking try it out.
It's free.
yeah, why not? I mean,
And-
like I said, I do agree that it does look kind of Fortnite-ish. It's like halfway between like realistic and Fortnite. It's not quite super cartoony, but if it was any closer to Fortnite, because I'm not a huge fan of that style. If it was any closer to that, I probably wouldn't dig it as much.
It's probably because this is cinematic. It's gonna be more cartoonish in game. I would
Yeah,
think.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, you're probably right. Like Knockout City is almost too much for me. Like but that's only because of like how goofy the gameplay. Like it just fits. But yeah, you're probably right. It'll probably be even more cartoony in the actual game.
And if it's good, then you didn't pay any extra money for a game that you love. So
Exactly.
hey, that's what I did with Knockout City. I was like, I probably gonna hate this Splatoon clone, and now I have many hours on the game. So
And you're like diamond rank.
I'm the max rank in the game now from last night.
Yeah.
I checked the hours. I have like 60 or 70 at this point.
Yeah, dude.
I know. I played too
In
much.
2
It's the
weeks.
one game my real life friends like play together now that kind of stopped playing games. So it's
Mm.
like it's back to old Xbox days where we're up till like 2 a.m. just talking about nonsense.
Hell yeah. That's what's
Yeah.
up. I would also have that much time in there if my old gaming buddies did that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, but-
Redfall. Who knows?
It could be good.
Yeah.
We'll see. Unfortunately, it's just cinematic, so it also could be garbage.
Yeah. I would be way more like happy with actual gameplay. But there obviously is no gameplay yet because.
But it's E3.
E3.
So it's gonna be good.
We just have to assume that every game that E3 shows us is going to be amazing,
Yeah.
and that'll never backfire.
We didn't get much just logo this year. I was very
that's
kind of
true.
excited about that. I always love making fun of the 3, 4, or 5 big announcements that are like name, Fable, and then we'll never talk about it again.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Nintendo didn't pull any of that, so that was nice.
They pulled the opposite. They showed Breath of the Wild 2 like half gameplay cinematic stuff and didn't show a logo at all.
That's funny.
Yeah, we don't even
They
know
showed
if
it.
it's called Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, apparently people were saying, I read this online, so this could be complete BS, that the name of the game may give away some of the plot, and they don't want to do that yet. So, I don't know.
I bet Ganon's in the title.
Oh,
based
maybe.
on-
You know what? I could, yeah. I hope it's not Ganon. I would love if it was like Majora's Mask or like
2.
Skyward, yeah, or like Skyward Sword, where it's like the main guy is not Ganon. You know,
Yeah.
little break. But since it's a sequel to a game that was all about Calamity Ganon, it's gonna be Ganon. But
Hmm.
Well, I don't know. Majora's Mask was a sequel to a game that was all about Ganon.
you know what? True, but yeah, actually, you know what? I'll take that back.
Yeah, who knows? Realistically, it probably because they don't want to cement just how closely related to Skyward Sword it is, I bet.
That'd be cool.
'Cause-
I'm down for it.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad thing at all, but I bet they just don't want people to know that much, even though it's super obvious. And maybe that's the thing is they're trying to give us the old switcheroo, give us the old razzle dazzle thing.
I was very excited that game got announced. Now that we're back on it, but
Yeah, for sure.
Summer Game Fest announced Metal Slug Tactics, which also tickled my fancy a little bit.
It's always good.
Yeah, I'm always down for some. I've been toying with the idea of doing a full Final Fantasy Tactics playthrough on my channel. I would have to emulate the game though. But yeah, I don't know. Metal Slug Tactics is interesting. Metal Slug hasn't been like around forever, and now they're just gonna pull a tactics game out of their ass. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it's good.
I was a little disappointed that it wasn't a side scroller, but not every game has to be for me, I guess. Because I dumped a lot of quarters into the Metal Slug arcade at the local skating rink, and I would love to have a new Metal Slug side scroller.
Yeah, I honestly I believe that's probably what most people feel.
Hopefully
if
it's
this sells
good.
well.
I'll try it out. Like if it works. If there's like any game breaking bullshit, then I won't pick it up. But
Is it gonna be on Game Pass?
nope.
Yeah, it seems like a PC game. Which I mean, Game Pass is on PC, but like doesn't directly benefit Xbox. I don't know. Seems like more of a buy it for 10, 15 bucks, 20 bucks on Steam.
Yeah. Metal Slug. Yeah, just as Windows. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know. Not everything can be on Game Pass, right?
Mm.
Although
That's what they want you to think.
I did just
Until-
notice. I did just notice that the E3 recap even has a tag. So it has a tag for exclusives like that. So that's only on one platform. It even has an Xbox Game Pass tag. So you
It
can just
does.
look at the thumbnail and know which ones are for free. That's crazy. I just noticed that. Well, I'll just
There
look
was
and it'll
there was
start.
another weird game called Unmetal announced, which seems to be like a old school Metal Gear Solid parody game. I'm very down for that.
A what? now?
I did not hear about this one.
It's like
Oh,
a stealth comedy game, basically.
I can
Oh,
pull
I'm
the,
in.
I can pull the trailer up here.
I tried to Google it and I accidentally did EM instead of ME and it pulled up unemployment.
Damn, depressing. Yeah, I mean this, and what I shouldn't say Metal Gear Solid because this is obviously like just Metal Gear parody. Solid being the 3D games. But yeah, this reminds me heavily of the old school Metal Gear games on the NES and the MX.
I like the
device.
beginning. The army dude goes like, "You're arrested for the crimes you didn't commit."
Yeah, I mean this is definitely gonna be a comedy game.
I love that.
And I don't know, I'm interested in these types of games too, and I'll check it out.
I love like when they do like the casual comedy like genre good like Octodad. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bunch of cheese and stuff.
And then a grinder. What the heck?
Oh yeah,
Gotta
this,
grind your
this
rats
is just
sometime.
it's
Yeah, I
just
need
weird.
to put this on the list.
Another cat.
And you can play the demo right now on Steam.
They're doing a lot of that stuff on Steam. Like
Aw,
for a week,
damn.
you play demos. I need
That's
to
cool.
check exactly what it is, but what's it called? Next Fest on Steam.
Yeah, the next fest.
This dude's playing cooperative chess.
Okay.
All right.
Just a bunch of demos though.
Yeah.
It's cool.
We also saw Dying Light 2. It was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's coming out just like in October, right? That's super soon.
Yeah, and I like the fact that like how you play the game ends up like changing the world. the way
I
you
whenever
play.
I hear devs talk about that, I'm like, well, we'll see. How much
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
actually changes. Because
But they emphasize it on so much, so it has to be like something that they really worked on.
yeah, I mean, Mass Effect 3 also had 3 different endings, different colors. Like literally, it's the same ending with a different color tint on, and that was the different endings of Mass Effect 3.
But I want to believe that they actually like succeeded this time.
Yeah, I want to believe too. Like, but the fact is that when you have like huge open world games that have all these branching paths and whatever, that means that like for every branching path you have to rework something for that path. So whenever I hear that our game you're gonna have like options upon options upon options, I'm like, really? Okay. Let's see how much the options are really options though. It's the Telltale kind of game where it's the illusion of a choice, which ultimately whatever you choose leads to the same conclusion.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like if you can like change like the music you play from the radio or something like that, and they'll like the people would be there like, I really like the music that you play on the radio.
Because
and that's like,
they've talked about like the factions in Dying Light 2 that you can pick and choose like who you side with, and to me that translates to you are picking and choosing who are the enemies that you're gonna face. It's gonna be like what clothes basically are your enemies gonna have on them.
Kind of like a Mass Effect 3 type situation. What color do you want the explosion to be?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Kind of silly.
we'll
Why
see.
do you want to change the color of your explosion?
Man, Mass Effect 3's ending was just so dog shit.
We also saw Jurassic World Evolution 2, and that's pretty cool because freaking Jeff Goldblum is gonna voice acting that.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the one-
or
Yeah.
oh, he's actually like in the game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Apparently, they said that he's gonna do some voice acting there. I don't know
That's
how
awesome.
much, but at least
Oh
some.
shit. Well, shit. The more you know.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be a $20 tycoon game. The idea of a Jurassic Park tycoon game is really cool, but I like the first one feels like a $20 tycoon game, and then they were like full price, $60 right now in my pocket.
You don't get it. It's dinosaurs. It's not like roller coaster rides. It's more interesting than that.
It is
Yeah.
more interesting,
And it's
but-
better than any zoo tycoon because you have dinosaurs.
True.
Freaking dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are expensive, Trevor. Sometimes you have to pay $60.
$40. Yeah, $40 is pretty expensive.
Or $80. It's probably gonna be something like that.
Oh yeah, they'll do the $70 because they're putting it on PS5 too.
Yeah.
Good point.
But
I'm gonna be right back.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Or really, I don't know that there's really much else. We saw nothing else too crazy that really jumped out at me.
I mean, all the other big stuff was stuff that they already announced, like Far Cry 6, Halo
Yeah.
Infinite. The Halo
Yeah.
Infinite multiplayer being free, I thought that was dope.
That is
That's
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
Like
The-
if it's actually good.
I watched a little bit of an interview with the guy from Fallout 6, the guy that's playing the bad guy, the villain. And that he's the same guy that played like Gus Fring in Breaking Bad, and then he's playing Moff Gideon, which is like a big villain in Star Wars. And Jeff Keighley asked him, like, which of those three villains do you think is like the strongest? Who do you think would win in a fight between the three of them? And I was like, oh, he's just gonna say the guy from Far Cry 6, even though that makes no sense because those other two guys are like the biggest drug kingpin in the world and a guy that hunts Jedis for fun. And he didn't. He straight up said the guy who hunts Jedis.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
He doesn't
I was-
care. I thought he was
No,
going to do it for like PR.
Yeah, I fully expect him. Oh, it would definitely be this guy from Far Cry 6.
Play
No,
the
he
game.
straight up, yeah, he straight up said, no, it's Moff Gideon, the guy from Star Wars. He would win. I was really surprised. But stuff like that makes like that kind of stuff actually makes me more interested in his work, just because that seems way more genuine.
We also age Age of Empires 4, which is pretty interesting and
Oh yeah.
well weighted, and it looks pretty. It looks like 2 or 3, but with like very updated graphics, in my opinion. Just like real quick glimpse.
I think it'll be a great game that hits that niche that very few people play.
And
Like Age of
like
Empires.
the
stiff
amount
people.
of nostalgia people get, it's gonna sell just because of that.
Yeah. And I know I never played 3 because I heard it was bad.
Mhm.
But with them doing so much work recently on 2, like they basically were like, 3 didn't happen, and then released a bunch of content for 2. And hopefully that means it'll be closer to 2 than 3. So, because they've released like 3 new DLC. Well, it's been several years now, but they released like 3 new DLCs for AoE 2 like 15 years after it was out. So, hopefully with that kind of on their forefront, this will be better than 3.
Was it just at E3, or did they announce the Diablo 2 Resurrected like, the
That
release date? Was it?
I remember seeing it. I can't remember.
But what did they release on E3, or was it before that? Because it's gonna be on September 23rd, which is pretty fast.
Yeah.
If my brain remembers correctly, I think they announced the release date and they had already announced the remake.
Oh yeah.
I want to know what y'all think about the new Rainbow Six game, Extraction, because I don't think we haven't talked about that yet.
Boring.
Yeah.
I specifically wanted to ask Tom, the guy who plays Rainbow Six.
I don't know.
No interests.
Yeah, no.
No
It looked
interest.
generic. It was Ubisoft's big thing, so
Yeah, I don't know.
That-
Like they could have, instead of doing what they did, they could have done something that no one else does. Make an old school Rainbow Six game. But they chose to do the generic thing and you shoot zombies instead.
Call of Duty.
I'd say I'm more excited about Slime Rancher 2.
Yeah.
Because the first one was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But it was surprisingly interesting. But I feel like it's kind of dated nowadays. So I'm glad to see that they're making like a refreshed version.
I played Slime Rancher 1 on stream
Yeah.
a couple months ago.
It wasn't bad, but I feel like it's not quite targeted towards me.
And it's on Game Pass.
Yeah. And I think so is gonna be the second one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All
You know what
roads
else
lead
is
to
gonna be on
Pass.
Game Pass?
All roads lead to Game Pass.
You know what else is gonna be on Game Pass?
God,
Halo
anything.
Infinite.
Which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Honestly, as a person who hasn't I didn't grow up with Halo, but it still looks kind of amazing. But I still feel like, what is it gonna do different than any other arena type game?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing back
probably
Halo.
nothing.
I
Yeah.
mean, because Halo was the game.
It was the arena game, like
And
Unreal Tournament.
Yeah, I mean, after like Quake and whatever, Halo was the game that everyone played. And that had those classic modes like Capture the Flag and like TDM and stuff like that. And they emphasized heavily this time around, like they showed nothing about the single player, which I feel like probably was a good move. Because and solely focused on multiplayer, which is gonna be like free for everyone, I guess.
It says multiplayer free to play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is massive because it will bring back instantly all of those old Halo players. Like, motherfucker, if they sprinkle in like those old maps that those people played, people will
I think
jizz their pants.
That will
On the
bring
spot.
my favorite on the spot. My favorite thing about Halo was I played Halo Reach growing up with my friends and did the custom games. If it being free to play brings back, a bunch of people to be able to like play custom games again, like, like all the speed, all the fun, like many things on top of like the combat that it used to have, like I'm hooked.
Like, I'm personally not really interested in the multiplayer. I'll check it out. I did not. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't grow up with Halo either. Like, I played Halo 1 and 2, the campaigns, like when I was 16. I borrowed them from my cousin, and I don't dislike Halo. I've been like tickling with the idea of like doing a full like Halo series playthrough, just the campaigns. Not Halo Reach though, cause fuck, that is boring.
That's my favorite Halo game. I love that game.
You know why it's your favorite Halo game?
It was the first one I played.
Exactly.
But it was my favorite.
Exactly.
I think the story in that game's great.
Yeah, I mean, I know 1,000 your age boys on the internet that absolutely salivate over Reach because of how Reach ends. It was the first profound moment that those gamers had.
Maybe.
When the fight, it was. I know it was because I know, man. Because I've seen those comments on how good Reach was and how that ending, it stuck with those people. And like, how old are you? About 20. Sir, I'm about right, dude.
Well, it is not just the ending. It is like halfway through the game to the ending that it hits that point. But yeah, I will proudly say I'm one of them 1,000 boys
I know.
And I've replayed through that game a bunch of times, and I love it. And that and the mixture of doing custom games like with my friends on multiplayer and just doing like mess around in Forge, that probably made half the game too. So
Yeah, I mean, multiplayer honestly is what Halo is. That's the thing. It spawned like an esports scene, a pretty big one, and you know, if you didn't play Call of Duty, you played Halo.
Even if you did play Call of Duty, you probably also played Halo.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I forget sometimes how big Halo was. Like how everybody and their mom played Halo.
Oh yeah. It's insane. Like you can find those old videos when like Halo 2 came out and stuff. People lined up for that shit in the thousands.
Yeah.
This was like before gaming was this mainstream that it is today. Like if you had an Xbox, you had Halo. I didn't know anyone who did not have Halo if they had an Xbox. I was a PlayStation boy though, so I did not have Halo.
Halo Infinite does look really good though. But they've all looked good in the trailers. I played 4 some and it was very mediocre, which made me very sad. I was really actually looking forward to it.
Halo Infinite specifically looked very bad in its trailer.
Yeah.
The campaign trailer. Like,
Was it because
shit.
of the I forgot his name, but like the big dude whose
Master
face
Chief?
looked like
You talking about Master Chief, or you talking about like
no, the really big dude.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Brute?
Oh, yeah, that one.
yeah.
The Brute.
Don't worry about it.
The head looked like
About it.
straight from like like Xbox 360.
Yeah. I forgot
Copy
about
image.
the Brute. He eventually
Yeah.
pops up in as an emote in servers from time to time. I'll see him used quite a bit. Yeah.
I can't paste the fucking image. Copy image address. There we go. Oh my god, that's a horrible link. Maybe click it, maybe don't.
I already clicked it.
Oh yeah, there
Wow.
it is.
Look at that PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah, that is Halo Infinite. Like I don't know how much the image is compressed, but motherfucker, that does not look next gen in any fucking way.
Yeah. No.
Holy crap.
But I definitely like watching the Halo Infinite. Definitely gonna give it to them the lighting. It was on spot. Like spot on. Real nice. You can like even like see, you would like pick up the gun and you would like see how it changes, has like shadows on the gun and stuff like. It looks so good.
I'm confident that they can make the game look good. Like no doubt about it. Because you know everyone can do it. But you know, as for the campaign, I believe that the campaign heydays, they are long gone. Like when Bungie stopped making Halo, that's when Halo died. You can make the multiplayer good because you know you just follow the blueprints that Bungie made already. That'll
Yeah.
sell.
And I hope that it's like those people who grew up playing those games are the ones that are developing now and like putting stuff into the game that they wanted to see back in the day, but necessarily wasn't even possible to like create.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, like 343 Industries, who develops Halo these days, they have never reached the critical acclaim that Bungie reached with Halo 1, 2, and 3.
No.
And Reach.
I don't think Bungie made Reach.
They did. That was the last one they made.
Oh, okay.
And then 4. I think that also didn't help that Bungie made Reach. And then I played 4, and 4 was like dog water. And then so all the Reach kids thought Reach was 10 times greater because 4 was dog water. And it's the next one they played. That's me.
So
Fair
it like even makes it better.
Yeah.
Like
In
the first
comparison.
game a lot more.
Even like Halo 5 is a game that I have never played or never seen. Pretty good scores across the board from like all the professional journalists. But like, I don't know, I have never probably met a person who has played Halo 5. I have no idea what that game is about.
Oh, I don't have any idea. Really.
I'm down for the focus on multiplayer now.
Yeah, that's probably just what they should do. Truthfully.
Battle
Hopefully the
Royale
multiplayer is
mode.
good, though. Ugh, don't even. Delete this VOD. Don't give them any ideas.
They
You're as
can't
bad
see
as
it.
North.
I just don't know, like, okay, so like I'm looking at Game Pass. Halo 2 Anniversary is on like Game Pass, but Halo, and then there's the Master Chief Collection. I don't know what the collection is, because then there's Halo 2, 3 ODST, and then 4. 5
The
is
collection
legendary.
is all of them. You can just
Yeah.
either download the collection, so you can download all of them at once, or you can download Halo 1. Because originally the Halo Master Chief Collection came out on the Xbox One as like a launch thing to get you to buy this. So originally it came with 1, 2, remastered 1, remastered 2, 3, and 4. And then they started adding the ODST and Reach to it, just the other ones. And then they realized that it took up so much space on a hard drive that they just started letting you download them individually, I think.
So
Yeah,
what
I
the fuck
remember
is
the
the
timeline.
what is the difference between Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST?
Halo 3 ODST is a standalone game like Reach is. So it's
You-
not about Master Chief.
Yeah, you play as the guys that usually die.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fucking boring.
It's not. It's not. No, I'm kidding.
Listen
Yeah,
here,
and then-
Reach kid, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I
Look.
think the PC versions are still being released for the Master Chief Collection because they're like they completely redid them for that
Oh, yeah.
release
Mm.
and actually just are releasing them. I
Yeah,
think
those ding dongs released Reach first.
I think they did chronological order for their release.
Yeah.
I think they're going in the order that of the events.
They're going in order of the best ones. So Reach was first,
And
Listen,
then
listen
one.
here.
It makes sense.
then
Listen here, you little shit.
I'm not little. I turned 21 in 4 months. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, still got 4 months to go, boy.
They also, speaking of Xbox and Battle Royale modes, Forza Horizon 5 got announced too. That looked pretty good. I'm a racing guy, so I'm more of a Need for Speed guy, but I really enjoyed Forza Horizon 4 when I played it. So
The 4 looks so good,
yeah,
and I can't even like think could it look even better. Maybe the lighting could be better.
I think
God,
the
North.
only thing is like location and stuff.
Nothing is enough for North here. Jesus.
He's all about the lighting.
I'm always thinking about it like how it's gonna be better because they're trying to strive for a better game, of course, but how is it gonna be better?
Yeah, if you have
Well,
that mentality, the game will never come out.
Yeah.
How long has Forza Horizon 4 been out though? It's been out for a hot minute.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
a
know.
warm 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, 2018. Not as long as I thought it was. Never mind.
Yeah, 3 years.
Psych.
Yeah, and this one they're gonna have faster cars.
And
The
a
largest,
Battle Royale
most
mode.
diverse Horizon ever. Yeah, Battle Royale.
Yeah, they're going to Mexico.
But isn't it like hard? Like some games limit the multiplayer, like the max speed, because you just can't like refresh, like the server as fast. So basically, by the time that it like recalculates your place, you might have been at like a way different location because you move so fast. And
It
If you
looks
put-
jittery.
If you put enough motion blur in there, you can go the speed of light.
You put
The
enough
motion blur
motion
sucks.
blur, and then you do what most games do, where like you kind of can guess where they're going, and so like if they lag out, that's why they end up just going straight like forever, because it's like kind of guessing where it's going, and then when it refreshes, it like kind of jitters back to like almost
Oh.
where it guessed. So
That makes
yeah,
sense.
but it'll be Forza Horizon 4, which is a good game. Like I don't see it being anything different, other than Mexico.
Mm.
Are they gonna have like that filter that makes everything orange?
Well, yeah, that's
Probably.
how you know it's Mexico.
Yeah,
How else,
How
how
else
else are
would
you
you
supposed to
know?
you're
know?
near the
Yeah.
equator.
Yeah, the closer you get to the equator, the browner and oranger things get. That's just what happens.
Fucking common knowledge, North. Come on.
Same thing
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Twilight. It's not a Twilight. Have you seen the Twilight movies without the blue filter?
It's very
is-
creepy.
It's so funny.
It is, yeah, it is very strange. It's wild how much that blue filter makes things differently.
And then just like with no audio too, just like kind of like teenagers just crawling on the ground. It's like, what? Am I looking at a live action role playing session? LARP?
Yes.
But it's kind of weird that how the filters make it like more cinematic.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sure.
That's
Photo
how
mode.
Hollywood has trained us.
Yeah.
Blue and orange, baby. That's all I need. Blues and orange.
And then I think the one thing we haven't talked about yet was the Gearbox conference. with
Oh yeah, shit.
Borderlands. Yeah.
Fucking Randy, man. Fuck
He
that
did no
guy.
magic trick. He did no magic
Fucking
trick.
Randy.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck you.
So for those who
Randy.
did not watch the Gearbox presentation, it wasn't a
greasy.
presentation. It was it was the greasiest show on.
For sure. I took a shower. That dude was a sweaty Betty. My goodness.
Hard at work.
So yeah, like Gearbox, I don't know, they showed some gameplay trailers, but or game trailers, but whatever. But the main focus of the entire 30 minutes was Randy going around like the Borderlands movie set and harassing people, basically. Because he
Flogging.
talked to Eli Roth, and like if you look at Mr. Roth when Randy's talking, he looks like he doesn't want to be there, and even in one shot, he just walks away.
Yeah, at the end, yeah.
And they even acknowledge, like they put a text on the screen where like Eli just walks away. Yes, we can see that. And then he talks to Kevin Hart, and like the best moment is when he wants a high five, and Kevin Hart just walks into his trailer and just leaves him hanging there.
Perfect.
Fucking
I love
Randy
Randy.
Pitchford, Jesus, I hate him so much.
It was just his It feels like his like, I'm gonna just buy an E3 slot and then I'm gonna show whatever I want, and it just flogs. And then here's
yeah.
the two games we're making: Homeworld and Wonderlands.
Yeah.
I don't understand why the higher ups of Gearbox let him do the things he does.
Because it's Randy, man.
He's a patsy, dude. Now everybody hates him. So now any bad decision, they just blame the greasy one. And it's like, this is a bad idea. Fuck off, Randy. And then the dudes up in their ivory tower like, yeah, fuck off, Randy.
Yeah, this year's Randy's magic trick was to make all the actors just like walk away.
Disappear. Watch
Disappeared.
Kevin Hart disappear.
Fucking Randy.
Let me force him to talk on camera for 5 minutes about what he doesn't want to do while he's in his dressing room.
Yeah, because I think that when he talks to Eli Roth, it's so amazing because like Roth just looks, he like stares like with his dead eyes like forward, and he's just, I don't want to be here. Like it's amazing to watch that. Because I know it's not because Roth is awkward or anything. He's acted in movies, so I know he can show emotion. Maybe he's like, his resting bitch face is what it is, but he definitely is not enthusiastic at all when you're supposed to be like, yeah, fucking Borderlands movie. Woo!
Yeah. Wild.
That was a fun one to watch, even though it was one of the worst. Also, they were talking about Homeworlds 3, and I don't know why they did the announcement in 3 separate parts of the presentation. So they talked about Homeworld 1 for like 2 minutes at the start, and then talked about Homeworld 2 2 minutes like during the middle, like 15 minutes after they talked about the first time, and then near the end they're like Homeworld 3. Like who makes that to just talk about it all at once?
Got to spread this out. They kicked us off the Hollywood lot too early, and we're scrapped for time.
Yeah, I was talking with one of my buddies, and he was talking about the Gearbox. We were watching the Gearbox thing, and he was like, "I really hope like they're just doing all this because they have a big surprise at the end." I said, "No shot. It's gonna be Randy on the movie set being like, 'Thanks for watching. I've got to keep making a movie,'" and it was exactly what that was, just with Kevin Hart.
Fucking Randy.
I think that was the only big thing we haven't talked about yet, though.
Yeah, we could wrap this up.
It was fun.
Sure.
I enjoyed E3, even if it wasn't the greatest of all time.
If you,
But
if you
what
think
was
we
the-
missed something big, it's not the new Battlefield, because we talked about it on our previous podcast. So go check that
Yeah,
out.
you can tell us
EA
to go
has-
fuck ourselves in the comment section down below.
Doesn't EA have a thing like next week anyways? We can talk about we'll
Yeah.
talk about Battlefield in next month probably.
I will
And then
not
it's
watch that.
EA Play Live on.
They're gonna show
July.
Skate 4, so I'm gonna watch it. They're not actually, but I'm gonna watch it just because they own Skate 4.
Actually, we also missed that Skatebird has a release date now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. That is true.
What's that, Nat?
It's true. Let me look.
Was it August 7th, maybe?
August 12th.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
One more thing I wanted to bring up that there's not really much to discuss, although it could be good. Psychonauts 2.
Hmm.
They showed
I like
they
that.
showed
Yeah,
that, yeah. And it's also, of course,
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be on the Game Pass, and it's coming out August 25th of this year.
Yeah.
Damn.
Anytime like the OG people get to go back and make a sequel to a game like this, I think that's awesome. So
Yeah, I think
yeah, it was
Psychonauts will be a hoot.
yeah,
I was
hoot and
kind of
a
like
half, maybe.
worried that we're not gonna have that many games like later this year, but there's actually gonna be a good amount of games.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I'm
Anyway.
good now. I wanted to make
So,
sure got in there.
what's the number one game you guys saw?
Elden
Number
Ring.
one.
I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. It was Elden Ring.
I want to say something else than Elden Ring, but I can't.
You don't
man.
have to.
Yeah, don't lie to
Well,
yourself.
Battlefield. I'm a
Yeah.
big Battlefield guy, but I haven't played like the latest one.
Fucking
Mario Golf.
Mario Golf
Mario
comes
Golf
out
did
in
get
a
an announcement.
week.
Oh, man.
And
Have
I'm
you played the
buying it.
golf? Have you played the golf RPG?
Oh, it's so good on the Game Boy.
No, on the
It's so
on
good.
the Switch, I think.
Oh, you're talking about
The
golf. I forget what
I
it's
think it's
called.
called straight golf RPG, isn't it?
Something. The Mario Golf on the GameCube is like real people, and it's an RPG game, and it's so
Gross.
good.
Yeah, RP Golf. That's what it's called. Not RPG Golf. It's RP Golf. You should look that up. Apparently, it's like a golf role playing game with like certain like stats and stuff like that. So
I'm down.
maybe give it a look.
Well, if I don't want to say Elden Ring, it was probably Breath of the Wild 2, even though they didn't show much of it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, Elden Ring was a banger, and it showed gameplay. Like, I can't not be happy about that.
yeah, I think no one probably, everyone probably knows that Elden Ring was the number one for me too.
Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. Elden Ring wins.
Elden Ring, man.
We'll keep you updated if the release date changes, because it will
When
probably
the-
change. When it will change.
No way it comes out in January.
Yeah.
If it does, though, that's pretty hype.
That's hella hype.
sure.
Because January is usually pretty low
Pretty
on
dead.
new games.
We'll keep
Yeah.
our expectations low, and then if it doesn't happen, then we're like bouncing off the walls.
Exactly.
But it's probably going to be released before next summer. That is probably
Hopefully.
the last line. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like lately, unless it's a cyberpunk situation, the delays are usually like 2 months. So we'll see.
Indeed.
We did not talk about any VR games because I don't think any of us. Well, Joe has VR. Right?
Yeah, but I haven't played my VR
Yeah.
thing in a few years. So yeah, I didn't even pay attention to the VR.
Yeah, but
Uh,
there is a bunch of VR stuff. But you're gonna have to look at it yourself.
Yeah.
If
there,
you're
yeah, there
rich.
was. There was a bunch of them. So maybe they're good.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Think
time
we're good?
for smiling and waving?
Don't forget,
Hey.
we won't have an episode next week because we did
Yeah.
this one. So
Yeah.
don't look for us next Wednesday. Look for
Yeah.
us
Next month.
on the 7th of July will be our next episode.
Yeah,
The 7th of July.
We'll be probably talking about Tinted Grail. Maybe more Knockout City. I don't know. Depends how much we're gonna play that. Please.
All right, yeah.
I'll only have 100 hours at that point.
100,000 hours.
Yeah,
100,000.
so.
All right. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
don't forget. July
And,
7th.
I don't. Have you ever said subscribe? Have we said that?
Yeah, follow here and then subscribe on YouTube.
Mm.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do the
If
things or
you
I'll kill
listen
you.
for 2 hours, 48 minutes, and 59 seconds and haven't subscribed, you're doing something wrong with your life. Okay?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Mm,
You made it this far. It's time.
Just click the thing.
mm. Or go fuck yourselves.
Randy Pitchford.
Yeah. Don't be a Randy.
Don't be a Randy. Okay, bye.
What?
Yeah, you were the one.
sorry.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye. Yeah. We'll be back next month.
Yep.
This is the most
See you then.
awkward goodbye ever. I
It
always
kind of forgot there for a moment that I'm the one who holds the reins here.
He was like, when's it going to end?
Still going.
Okay,
This is
yes,
still happening.
Still going?
Yeah.
It's still awkward.
Yeah. Okay. See you next month. Bye.